a bottle of...
Oh, shit. Get up, come on, get down with the sickness.
Where the hell is the fucking Hall of Fame?
Get up, come on, get down with the sickness.
How dare you say such things about a widow?
Did she eat the corpse?
Get up, come on, get down with the sickness. Open up your hate and let it flow into me. I can see inside you the sickness is rising.
I think he's some kind of darky.
Seems that all that was good has died.
He living in my coattail.
Oh no, the world is a scary place.
Quiet down on the Christmas show, for fuck's sake!
Now that you've woken up the demon in me.
Whose idea was this?
Quiet up! Come on, get down with the sickness.
Hello?
Mother, get up. Come on, get down with the sickness. You
Sit on my face.
fucker, get up. Come on, get down with the sickness.
Go, get it.
Open up your hate and let it flow into me. Why can't you just fuck up and die? Get down with the sickness.
That's it, you.
Fuck you! Leave the shit out down with the sickness. You're doing sadistic abuse of fucking organs. Down with the sickness.
Speak out.
Here it comes. Get ready to die. Get ready to fuckers.
Die.
Before we begin, I have to issue an apology. This has nothing to do with you, Brian, so you may merely laugh at me, but at the Ring of Honor show Friday night in Orlando, right after the second match began, I was approached by someone. It was very loud, very chaotic scene. Craig and I, Ring of Honor packs their seating arrangement with so many chairs that you can't get to your chairs if you're late. So we were late to the show, and our chairs were in the middle of the section, and so there was no way to get to our chairs without making at least a dozen people stand up. So we waited until the first match ended, and then we said, "Excuse me, everyone, we need to get to those two chairs right there. Could you all please stand up?" So this huge, enormous crowd of people had to stand and get out of our way, and as we're shuffling through there, trying to get to our seats, a guy comes running up, and he's yelling, it's quickly, and it's loud, I can't really hear him, but I get to the point that he knows I'm Vince, and he's clearly a member of the board. And I know I should talk to him, but all these people are already waiting for me to sit down, and I thought I should just sit down as soon as possible, so I said, I'll talk to you later. Come talk to me after the show, but right now I have to sit down. And the guy kind of looked heartbroken and went away. And we went on with it. We watched the rest of the show. Craig and I actually ended up, we were too fat to fit in the space left because everyone had squeezed into the movable chairs. So we had to just take those chairs up and move them off to the side and sit over there anyway. But we sat down, we watched the show, watched intermission, watched the main event. You finally showed up. The main event ended, and of course we got out of the building right away, and I never talked to that guy again.
What a jerk.
This would be a dick move if this was any reader of the board. But this particular reader of the board, I did not learn this until Monday afternoon, was none other than one Bill Barnwell, who is not only a customer, but he and I are also colleagues on the football website I write for.
Vince.
I am a colossal douche. I am rude. I am obnoxious. I am unfriendly. I gravely insulted a man who has done me a great favor in the past. And for this, I apologize.
What a shameful act on your part.
I want to lay down verbally here before Bill Barnwell in the world and say, I apologize.
I hope you've learned a lesson, young man.
I have. Always appreciate any reader at any time.
That's right.
And Mr. Barnwell, if our cross shall pass ever again, I'm trying to get him to go to Bola.
I hope he slaps you.
I was just going to say, you may hit me.
Bill, I will hold Vince's arms behind his back and you can slap him.
That's absolutely
Or you
true.
can hold his arms behind his back and I'll slap him. It's up to you. That's the kind of guy I am.
He's bigger than you.
I can slap pretty hard.
You slapped me. It sucked.
I am a friend of all and I appreciate all, so I don't have any apologies to make.
No. Had you been there, you would have said hi to him.
I would have stepped over people to find young Bill Barnwell, so hope you've learned a lesson, young Vincent.
I hope I have too, and I hope Bill can find it in his heart to forgive me.
I've got a lesson for you. Never go to Orlando.
Indeed.
Don't go to the airport. How fitting was it that on the way home, the plane was delayed for an hour before the 6.5-hour flight? So I sat in a chair for 7.5 hours, and I thought that my ass was going to become part of the seat, as you often read about in horror tales. and it sucked. It was quite awful.
Here's my...
I'm not done yet.
I'm
Quite
sorry,
down
go
yet.
ahead.
So yes, I had a 7.5-hour flight this morning, and I had to be at the airport at some ungodly hour, 7, which of course was 7 Eastern. So after the 7.5-hour flight, it was still only 1, and I have been up all day, and I do have an apology to make, and that is that for those of you that are waiting for the newsletter, it is going to likely, like this show, be a day late. Although hopefully not $1 short. It was one of those things where I was like, God, I hope I have enough stuff for the newsletter this week, which is always a foolish thing to say. I have been writing nonstop. I wrote on the plane for 3 straight hours. I've been writing ever since I got home. I have written so much stuff, and shit's going to have to go. And I don't know what it is. I don't know how to figure out the template for this deal to make this a 16-page newsletter, so I don't think you can get that this week. But there's a lot of damn stuff. So the newsletter is going to be a day late. But yeah, never go to the Orlando airport. Never go to Orlando.
Never go to downtown Orlando ever, ever, ever.
No. If you want to go to the outskirts of Florida, St. Petersburg, lovely place. There are a lot of lovely places in Florida. Orlando, not one of them.
Orlando is right in the center of the state, and I believe that's because it's the asshole of the state of Florida.
It's a terrible.
It is a wretched place.
Then we had the Ric Flair retirement ceremony, and somebody asked if I regretted. Actually, everybody asked if I regretted not going to Raw to see this. And how do I say this? I've been a fan of Ric Flair for as long as I can remember. Been watching wrestling at least. I remember him winning. Actually, many of you have actually been watching Ric Flair a hell of a lot longer than me. But as long as I've been watching wrestling, I've been watching Ric Flair, and he's been my hero. And I always wanted to be as great a wrestler as Ric Flair, which didn't happen. But I thought if I could be half as good as Ric Flair, I'd be pretty goddamn good.
That didn't happen either.
Fuck you. I'm turning you down. So I was saying before I was rudely interrupted. If I could be half as good as Ric Flair, I thought I'll be pretty damn good. And Shawn Michaels, of course, my other favorite wrestler that I aspired to be as good as, and this and that, and we got to see them have their final match at WrestleMania, and then the next day Flair was going to have his retirement ceremony, and this was a chance to see Ric Flair retire. Like, see him have his big moment, and everybody cheered and hugged him, and he wept and all this stuff, and I had a chance to go see that live, and it was in Orlando. I have no regrets. As great as this was, I don't have any regrets. The actual reality is, I watched it on television and it was fucking great. And I think that watching it live, I don't know. It would have been way far away. I would have just been watching it on a screen. I don't know. I don't have a regret right now. Maybe I will when I'm 65 years old, or when Flair, hopefully at about 150 years old, passes away. Maybe I'll regret not being there for this ceremony, but it was so fucking awesome on television, and that was good enough for me. That was good enough for me. So I shouldn't even turn you back up. I'm feeling fine today.
A change of heart.
No, you're still an ass, a jackass. Anyway, this thing ruled, everyone. I hate to put a damper on this by Vince's negativity, but what can you do?
I'm not going to be negative about this.
Quiet!
Ruled.
This ruled. This match wasn't even a match. Whatever this was, it was just great. Why do we even talk about this? Everybody listening to this saw it.
Well, that's a fair point.
Everybody listening to this knows how great it is.
If you didn't see it, we can describe it in 4 seconds. All of Flair's friends came out and he hugged him and cried. It was great. I'm not doing justice to this segment. I watched it 10 times. I'm sort of like, I've got it, I know it by now. But, yeah, if you didn't see this, find it. It's on YouTube. Or it was a couple hours ago. Probably gone by now. But you'll never see anything like this again. No.
Except when Hunter retires.
Yeah.
Actually, when Hunter retires, they'll try and be bigger than this, but they never will be. And I don't think you'll ever see a ceremony like this that's like this, because you'll never find another guy like Ric Flair. You'll never find another guy that weeps like Ric Flair. You'll never find another guy that people weep like they wept for Ric Flair here. People would really weep like this for Hulk Hogan.
Hell no.
People are going to really weep like this when Hunter retires.
Fuck no.
People aren't going to weep like this for many people. Ric Flair's one of them. And the fact that he got this ceremony That says something. That's a great thing. Every now and then they do something right, and this was as right as it gets. This was a fabulous, fabulous deal. He came out and cut a little promo, and very short and sweet, and everybody started chanting, "Thank you, Flair," and he began strutting, and his music hit, and it seemed like just a little, 3-minute little segment saying goodbye to everybody. He was actually very calm. He said, "I'm not sad about not wrestling. No one here should be sad. They should rejoice. The greatest wrestling career in the history of pro wrestling is finished."
This was a man delivering the eulogy at his own wake.
Yep, he was happy.
It's very strange.
He said, "We should rejoice the fact that he wrestled in front of more fans, raised more hell, had more fun, and loved all the fans every day of his life." And he said he teared up all day long, but thought of not being able to come out anymore, that sort of thing. But he was in a good place now. He loved everybody. He wanted to thank him for the memories and for making him who he was today. "Goodbye, everybody!" And he starts strutting around, and then out came Hunter. And I believe that Flair had no idea what was going to be happening this evening. I think they told him that it was going to be a surprise. Talk for 2 minutes, and then this will get going. He had no idea what it was. I certainly had no idea what it was. Apparently they had big plans, is all anybody knew about it. But out came Hunter, and he said that the people in Orlando were not the only ones that wanted to say thanks. He said there were some other things coming up here. At which point Flair lost it, and he said, "I was doing good."
Yes, I was doing good until you came out here.
No more. So Hunter said he said, "I love you, thank you," and bowed to him. And then he said, "Well, wait, there's more." He said he spoke to some men backstage earlier today, and now his hand was cramping up in this position, and he held up the Horseman sign, and out came, yes, Tully Blanchard, Arn Anderson, J.J. Dillon, and Barry Windham, the original Horsemen. At which point, Jim Ross said the only thing that anyone said in the announce booth this entire segment, which was that these men had not been together since, I believe, 1988.
I was going to guess 89, so I was actually a year off. It's been even longer than that.
They got them all together for this thing. 20 years since they'd been together, and they got them all together for this show. And Flair, of course, lost it. And then we had Batista coming out representing Evolution. We had Ricky Steamboat, Harley Race, Greg Valentine, Dean Malenko, who got a huge pop, Jericho, Cena, and finally his family. I was kind of putting everybody together here, and I was like, well, Ricky Steamboat, that's obvious. Harley Race, yeah. Greg Valentine. Dean Malenko?
He was very briefly a Horseman. Apparently they get along. Maybe they're just close friends backstage, closer than anyone realized.
Chris Jericho. John Cena? Where the fuck did the John Cena one come from? I guess these were just men that he put over at the Hall of Fame. Which, of course, does not explain why, for example, The Big Show wasn't there.
I don't know either.
We put over bigger than anybody. It was just after the Horsemen and Steamboat and Race, we started getting random men in the ring. And anyway, then Shawn came out, and they hugged, and Hunter was like, "Wow, nice watches." They have matching Rolexes now. I believe Vince McMahon actually got these for the two of them. 24 engraved on them. On Flair's it says, "To be the man." On Shawn's it says, "You gotta beat the man."
That's really cool.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Gold diamond Rolexes. And Hunter said since they have time, they were going to pay homage to Rick. And the entire locker room emptied. All the wrestlers from all the brands. Big faces and heels, even Randy Orton. And they started clapping and chanting, "Thank you, Rick." And he went around hugging everybody, and the fans went, "Woo!" And that was the end. And then after it went off the air, they had Undertaker come out, who does not like spoiling its gimmick on television. And he hugged Flair and took off his jacket and hat and got down on his knee and saluted Flair like he was Paul Bearer's urn. And then the wrestlers all left the ring at this point, and Undertaker left. And then a man suddenly strode down the aisle, and it was Vince. And he leaped into the ring, and he gave Flair a giant hug, and then raised his arm and celebrated on all four sides of the ring, and then he just left and stood in the front row with everybody else. And then Flair went over and shook the hands of Lillian, JR, Lawler, and then waved to everybody and blew him kisses, and then whipped off his jacket, did the strut, and dropped an elbow and a knee on it. That I actually regret not seeing. There's nothing in this world better than Ric Flair attacking his own trousers.
And then putting them back on.
And then he grabbed the mic and said, thank you, and left the ring, and apparently 16,000 people and all the wrestlers all bowed to Ric Flair at the same time, and that was the end. So hopefully all of this ends up on the DVD at some point, because I actually saw most of the post-Raw footage. I didn't get to see the drop in the elbows on the suit or the bowing. But
I did find it on YouTube this afternoon.
The bowing?
Not the bowing. The attacking on the suit, yes. And the Undertaker, yes, which is funny because it's basically, without the special effects, it's an Undertaker entrance. His music playing, he strides out to the ring, steps in, takes off his hat, hands it to the guy, or takes off his coat, hands it to the guy, takes off his hat and stares, and I'm thinking, he's going to chokeslam him. He's going to chokeslam him.
Oh, God, no.
And then they hugged.
God,
very strange. I didn't say it was a good idea, it's just what it looked like.
Now, this was great. I was stunned. I figured they were going to do something at Raw, and I was not particularly excited to go to Raw because I didn't expect them to do this. WWE usually does all sort of, they've got the post-WrestleMania show, which is sometimes good, sometimes bad, and so I was like, nah, not going to go. And then I heard about all this, and I was like, that would have been really fun. But I have no regrets. I watched it on TV, it was awesome, and I got a chance to watch it about 15 times, so, got better each time. Good old Ric Flair. And now he's gone for the time being. And I should note that in his pre-match promo, he said he would never, ever wrestle again. And he seemed very convinced. And I thought after watching this that, I sure hope you don't, buddy. I sure hope you don't.
That's true.
That would really put a damper on this whole ceremony.
This send-off cannot be topped.
No, you'll never get a better send-off. And why ruin such a great send-off by wrestling one more time?
I'm sure you'd like to have a tag match with Reed, but it would not. It would sully this.
Yes, it would. Well, we might change our mind in a year. That's very likely. But anyway, this was absolutely awesome. Everybody get a copy of this Raw. It doesn't get any better than this. And I got so many emails. We put some up on the front page. I've been getting more all night, but this was money.
This was money. This is something you'll never see again because there will never be another guy like this who warrants this kind of display. And I'm not just talking about the time of the show. I mean the actual legit emotion he inspired in all the other wrestlers.
Well, there's one man.
Sean?
Vince.
Of course. But here's the key. Vince really will never retire.
That's true.
There will be a ceremony for Vince after he passes.
That's true.
Vince will, in fact, never retire. The great thing about this is we have seen shows similar to this in nature somewhat, except for people who have passed on.
Yes, people usually have to die to get something this good.
Yeah.
And they actually gave it to a man alive, who hopefully will be alive for a long time.
This is good news.
So anyway, this was great, and not much more to say about it, It was great.
It built some wacky... The last 20 minutes was awesome. Up to that, very, very odd.
Yeah. And they had one shot of Batista sort of looking at Sean when he entered the ring as if to say, I still don't like you, brother.
It was so great, though. It was so subtle. They were just showing people, and it was just Batista looking stern. If you did not see the earlier shot of Batista looking stern at Sean, you would have thought nothing out of the ordinary about this at all. But if you did see it, hey, look, it's a reminder. There's Dave. He's mad at Sean. I bet they're going to fight.
I was at the WrestleMania show this weekend, and we were heading towards the building, and there was a man outside the Citrus Bowl with the TNA X Division title, I believe. And we were walking near him, and I told Vinny that now was your chance to punch this man, to perform some sort of violent act upon a TNA member. Mm-hmm. And you were contemplating this without my prodding. You wanted to do some sort of act to let everyone know how much you hated TNA. And as we were walking by, somebody screamed, "Fuck TNA!" And someone else screamed, "Yeah, fuck TNA!" And you performed a celebration.
Well, you're leaving an important step out. After I decided that it was not worth a possible prison sentence to punch this dude, I did notice they had a great, big, giant, enormous TNA banner on a building. And I handed you my camera and said, here's this button to take a picture.
That's right.
And I stepped over, and I stepped before the sign, and I raised up both middle fingers, and you captured it for posterity, and the picture it's a 9 out of 10. There's a lot of other people around, otherwise it would be perfect, but I'm very happy with this picture. And trust me, it will be on the board soon. But I think that's what spawned the fuck TNA chant. I would like to think it was my I provoked this reaction. But yes, one guy said fuck TNA, and someone else said yeah fuck TNA, and then an honest to God chant of complete strangers across the street from me went out fuck TNA, fuck TNA, fuck TNA, and I felt like a coach who had just watched his team win a game. I leapt repeatedly in the air, I pumped my fist, and I shouted, yes, yes, yes! I was so ecstatic and joyful with glee. One of the highlights of my day. One of the highlights of my life.
I would like to state that when Vince says that he jumped high in the air
and in relative terms
and pumped his fist, Vince jumped in the air and pumped his fists. I swear to God.
Yes.
He jumped in the air, he did tuck jumps, he was pumping his fists up and down in the air.
I was so happy.
It was a horrifying sight.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
Profoundly hilarious.
That's all fine. I was such. That what you saw is me in a state of pure glee and bliss.
I saw something that I've never seen before, and I was in awe of it.
I'm so happy to know that I am spreading the hate of TNA. That means my life to this point has not been wasted. If I teach one person that TNA sucks, then it's been a good day.
Hey, fellas, what's up?
What's going on, Gary?
Who's this?
Nada.
Vince acts like he doesn't know who you are. He's too
I know.
cool now.
Oh, I know.
That's
him
me.
in his suit. Is he wearing his suit and his shades still?
I am actually, yes.
He's not wearing his suit or his shades.
The shades are still at the Brazilian steakhouse, sadly.
Looks like a slob.
Well,
It's the Bryan and Vinny Show, everybody. It's Saturday, April 5th, 2008. Figure4online.com. We have Gary here on the line. Just wanted to check in, see how the flight home was. Any final thoughts on the WrestleMania weekend, that sort of deal? What are you thinking, Gary?
I'm thinking I need some sleep.
You sound tired.
I'm beat, dude. I got off the plane. I went home. I tried to sleep. Anyway, that didn't work out so well.
Why?
And then I don't know, you get off the plane and you kind of...
Tired?
You just got stuff to do when you get home.
Yeah, I went to work.
Unpack. What's that?
I went to work.
Yeah, I know, dude. That sucked.
Oh, you have no idea.
Yeah, you left before me and got in
I left-
3 hours after me.
I left 2 hours before you and landed 3 hours after, yes. And then I went to work.
Yeah.
I hate
Direct flight
traveling.
next time, my friend. A direct flight. So, yeah, I got home. I immediately started doing laundry because I was leaving for Vancouver Wednesday morning. Went up to Vancouver, BC, and saw Eddie Vedder 2 nights in a row up there. And
Isn't that the guy from Stone Temple Pilots?
How dare you? Blasphemy.
Sorry.
No. He is the singer for Pearl Jam, as everyone should know.
Yeah.
And he put out a solo album last year, and he did a small tour that is up and down the West Coast. And
So a
started
solo
off-
album because nobody else wanted to work with him, and a small tour because nobody else would show up.
Yeah, anyway, so anyway, that was Wednesday and Thursday night, and I drove back down this afternoon. I got in, and I had to deliver my mother's car back to her because I took her caddy up there.
Oh, I had to travel in style.
Well, her car gets 28 miles a gallon, my truck gets like 12, so...
You need to sell that truck, Gary. You ain't getting any better anytime soon.
Yeah, well, what are you going to do?
Sell the
My
truck.
truck's cool, though. My truck's cool, man.
Do you often put stuff in the back of the
Vince's
truck?
sunglasses, and they can be replaced.
Yep, so I'm pretty tired, bro.
Craig, I called you earlier. You sounded drugged up.
Yeah, well,
You
in
sounded
Canada,
like Hunter
you
S.
can,
Thompson.
in Canada, you can get these 222s, which are basically Tylenol with codeine.
Never heard of them.
Yeah, I know, and you can bring them back down to the States as long as you don't, bring an excessive amount.
How many did you bring down?
Oh, just a few.
No, I
you
mean,
know.
did you get more than 100 down here?
No, I brought like a bottle of 200 or something. I don't know.
Oh, wow. So you did bring more than 200 down, or 100 down.
Yeah,
That's
I brought
pretty-
down 200.
Pretty impressive there, Gary.
Well, I have pain.
Don't we all? You didn't watch any SmackDown or anything?
Yeah, I watched SmackDown.
Yeah?
How was it?
Yeah, it was okay.
Okay.
We haven't seen it yet.
Really?
Yeah.
You watched Ultimate
Oh.
Fight Night.
Oh yeah, I saw some of that up in the West End when I was in Vancouver. I saw some of that.
Yeah, I can't believe I'm going to read this here on the air, but I read this and I was just baffled. Let me find it here.
Brian's searching for a text message on his cellular phone.
It's not a text message, it's an email.
Whatever.
Because I do, in fact, have a much cooler phone than you, Vince.
Well, that's certainly true, especially since I canceled the internet on mine.
Jesus.
I never used it. I thought, what am I paying this $30
Well, it's
a month?
okay. Brian has the internet on his phone and never uses it either.
That's true.
What are you talking about?
What time does the show start, Brian?
And I got on my phone and I found
Well, why
out.
don't you check it online, Brian?
Which I did.
Yeah.
Hey, fuck off, Craig. Let me
You
read
wouldn't
this
like
here.
it. You wouldn't like it. I just lay there and sweat.
All right, listen. This is from Anchor.
That's gross.
Anchor wrote a letter to me, okay, an email. The subject is just a note, okay? I got this email, Vinny, and I wanted to send it to you just to see the tirade.
When did you get this?
You wrote this at 11:01 a.m.
Today.
Yeah.
Okay.
It says, and I quote, "I'm watching SmackDown tonight, so if you decide not to recap it tonight, it doesn't matter."
What?
Okay. Anchor's a guy. I don't know if you're familiar with Anchor. He makes appearances on the board
Yeah.
once in a while. He's a board member. Anchor hates it when we don't review SmackDown because then he doesn't know if he should watch it or not. This man, A, literally lets us lead his life for him, and more importantly, B, he considers it our duty.
Yes.
If we fail our duties, then we have failed him.
I don't want to say how many people subscribe to this website. But
It's in the dozens, literally.
It's a lot. And Anchor believes, for some strange reason, that he's the one.
He's the one we
Like,
serve.
there's nobody else.
Well, it's okay because he didn't watch. He watched it tonight, so you guys don't have to review it.
That makes perfect sense to me.
I guess that's true.
You know what I mean? So it's cool.
That
so,
email baffled me because you have to understand that I believe he was completely serious.
Oh, yeah.
He was sending me a reminder to know that I didn't have to go out of my way to watch it tonight because he's already watched it.
I got to tell you, my conscience was sore from carrying that burden. And now I feel so relieved. Thank you, Anchor, for letting me know everything's going to be okay.
Oh, God. So, yeah.
Hey, what time did you get down on Tuesday, Brian?
What time did I get in?
Yeah.
I got to the airport at 7... What time did I get there? 7:45. The flight left at 8:45, and I arrived at 1 because we sat on the airport. Or we sat there on the runway for an hour because there's a balance issue with the airplane, which nobody.
Did you move the fat guy in the middle? Maybe that would have helped.
I thought that they were going to have to redistribute the fat men on the plane, but they didn't do that. They switched some luggage. But, yeah, so I got home at 1 o'clock and then stayed up till 1 o'clock, so that was no fun.
Yeah.
Sucked.
Yeah, I'm itching to watch that WrestleMania again, man.
Well, get it.
That was a heck of a show. I think I'll wait till the Blu-ray comes out.
That's not a poor decision.
Or you could do that as well. Yes,
Yeah.
I saw the Flair match on YouTube before it was removed, and it was good. And
Thumbs up, then?
That's the only thing that I've really seen from the show.
Did you
so far.
enjoy it? Did you enjoy it more after you saw it on YouTube than live?
I don't know. I don't know. I can't really answer that question. When I watched it live, I had a lot of disappointments running through me for various reasons, and once it was over, the disappointment was gone, and reality struck me. And then when I watched it back on YouTube, I was like, good match. That was a really good match right there. So, I don't know.
Yeah, because I talked to Bill. He had to host the WrestleMania party that usually happens at my house.
What a party that must have
Imagine
been.
such a thing. Did Buddy go?
No, Buddy didn't show up, oddly enough. But he said that was the best match on the show.
I did not think that upon watching it back again on YouTube.
That said that.
Americool said it was the
Miracle said
best
that,
match
yes.
he'd ever seen in his life.
Wow. Well,
Yeah.
I thought personally, I thought that was the best match on the show as well. But I'm a big Shawn Michaels mark, so.
Okay, well, first off, you're not going to find a bigger Shawn Michaels or Ric Flair mark than me. I named my fucking newsletter after him. I still thought the main event was better. It's just, that's the way it is. It was a perfect match in many ways, don't get me wrong, but the main event was, it was a better wrestling match.
Okay, fair enough.
It's settled.
That's right, kids. It's settled.
It's settled. Okay.
Derek Bergen also had a bone to pick with both of you about the Generico match. Perhaps you've heard.
No.
He said you're wrong when you said that it peaked and then the crowd died 2 minutes later, or they weren't as into it.
They totally died.
They were not into it.
We need to have a debate here on the show, you guys and Derek. He was a real ROH leg humper on the show. this past Friday.
Is that a technical term?
It is.
That's
it is.
Some inside lingo?
It is. That's what it's called here in the biz among us insiders. And, I think him and Alan Farrell against you and Craig in a debate, I think that'd be mini buys. And I'll just sit here and laugh at both sides.
I'm really not sure what the debate is, because it would go something like this. I would say, the crowd died after the false finish. And he would say, no, they didn't. And I'd say, yes, they did. He would say, no, they didn't. We'd repeat this.
The false finish got a bigger pop than the finish.
That's fact.
So,
That's a factual statement.
They claim it.
Therefore, it peaked too soon.
They claim
the finish should be the biggest pop of the match.
They claim that their statement is the factual statement.
Oh, jeez, get the DVD, you dorks.
Wow. They're just a bunch of jerk-offs on the internet, Craig.
Don't make me go there.
They're not just a bunch of jerk-offs. They're two particular jerk-offs on the internet. Alan Farrell and Derek Bergen.
Vinny, please. I apologize, both of you, for what Vinny just said right there. I don't believe that. I think you're two fine men who just don't know what you're talking about with the Briscoes. But that's fine. We all have our opinions.
That wasn't the Briscoes match. The Briscoes are entirely
I'm just saying in
different
general.
subject.
He was a Briscoes leg humper as well, so.
Oh, jeez.
You know how it is. Hey, I admitted that if you just watch the Briscoes perform wrestling maneuvers, they're really good.
Dude, I've been saying this for years.
Sure.
They just don't know how to put a match together. That's fine.
And the funny thing is, for a while, they actually literally had Jim Cornette in their corner.
Yeah.
You would think they'd have picked something up.
Well, no. So anyway, Craig, any final thoughts before we let you go tonight and get Granny on the line?
Not really.
Great.
I had some really good food in Canada, by the way.
What was
that?
You know,
they had those really good food joints over in Florida.
Cracker Barrel? We never talked about Cracker Barrel. I got to talk about Cracker Barrel for Lance Storm here. Lance Storm's a big fan of Cracker Barrel.
And I can see why.
I don't even... and when I think about it, I seem to recall him saying that he just got a chicken breast there, but I'll have to ask, because I don't remember what the whole story was. But he seemed to get non-Cracker Barrel food when he went to Cracker Barrel. When you go to Cracker Barrel, you got to get some greasy, disgusting food to really appreciate the experience. And we saw Cracker Barrel, and we were like, we got to go to this Cracker Barrel here. And we went, and I got the chicken fried steak with mashed potatoes and gravy.
Hold on. Before you do that, tell everybody what Lance Storm texted you back after you said you were going to Cracker Barrel.
What did he say?
You texted
lucky
him and said,
bastard.
Yes, he called you a lucky bastard. You asked him what you should eat at Cracker Barrel, and he only replied, lucky bastards.
I think I just said I was going.
Oh, okay.
I didn't ask what to eat. But, yes, I got a chicken fried steak and mashed potatoes and gravy and corn, and this was the best fucking meal I've ever had in my whole life. I am salivating now as I think about it.
It was so good. I had shrimp with hush puppies. That was my main course. And then with each entree, you actually get 3 sides. So I had dumplings, I had a hash brown casserole, and I don't remember the third. It was good.
God, you're fat.
I had like 5 foods. It cost me $10.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
That's the other key thing. This cost more for less. Our bill for 4 people cost less than Brian's wine and meat at the steakhouse.
That's undoubtedly that is true. That is true. Craig, what did you eat
biscuits.
What did you eat?
Oh, the biscuits were awesome.
What did you eat there, Craig?
I had the hamburger steak with the hash brown. What was it called? Hash brown casserole.
It was hash brown with cheese. In hindsight, I should have just gotten steak fries, but it was fine.
Yeah, it was killer. And
I had
sweet
some fries
tea.
too. Yeah.
You got to have sweet tea when you go to the South.
Sweet tea.
No, I missed out on that. I only had water.
I gotta say that there was so much food down there for so cheap. There was this place called Flapjack Jack's.
Skyway
Jack's.
Why can you not remember this? You went there.
I don't know, but 2 grown humans could eat for $9.
Woo.
And when I say eat, I had a giant stack of Flapjacks, and I had eggs, and I had sausage, and I made pigs in a blanket, and I ate so much that I was stuffed. And that means that I ate approximately as much as I ate at the Brazilian steakhouse.
For $4.50 approximately.
For approximately $4.50. That's awesome.
That was less than your wine at the steakhouse.
But that was a good wine. That wine was so good, I thought he was going to charge me $16 for it.
You wine with brandy in it, yes.
Oh, mamma mia.
Now, Craig, you were mentioning food in Canada.
Oh, yeah. I ate at this joint called the White Spot. And
that is a place
the spot
I
for
would
you.
never eat at, quite frankly. Speaking of leg
anyway,
humpers.
the place was bomb because they just had like the home-style food, just like, like Cracker Barrel almost.
Sure.
Man, it was killer. And then this morning, I ate at this joint called Tim Hortons.
Ah, I've heard of Tim Hortons. Yes, they have coffee
Yeah,
donuts.
it's kind of like the Dunkin' Donuts, except they have breakfast sandwiches and then these awesome curlers. Man,
You mean
that was
crullers?
some good eats, man.
To think you men are overweight. We also
Well-
went to Dunkin' Donuts. Was it Dunkin' Donuts we went to and just got as many donuts as possible and muffins?
Absolutely.
I was going to get 2 donuts, and then the 4 of us decided to get a dozen.
You know what's
Yep.
funny is I ate so much in that 6 days, and I came back and I had not gained a pound.
Me neither.
I don't know what that means. Is it all the walking?
We did walk a lot.
There was a
We
lot
did
of walking and a lot of excitement, so that's, I don't know. But anyway, that was a fun trip, and
It was.
Gary, we've got to let you go because we've exceeded our time limit here. And we will, I guess, talk to you next week and talk about whatever we normally talk about. Or we won't. I don't know.
Well, it's your call. It's your show.
But we'll figure it out next week.
Okay, fair enough.
All right, we'll talk to you after a
Bye,
little while.
Craig.
Later, guys.
All right, ciao.
Bye.
Get some sleep.
So far, so good.
Perhaps there's a drop somewhere. Midnight? Midnight. Midnight. That's horrible.
There you go.
We went from killing the unborn in the womb, from Mama's not dead, she's only sleeping, to killing the unborn child in the womb. And speaking of crap, and I know I'll get heat for this, Crime Time skit, selling stolen stuff, just went on forever. The people cheered, so I can't bury it too much, but, not good comedy.
The problem was they peaked with their funniest thing was the first one, because they had Maria's Playboy and they had Mae Young's thong, but the first item they sold was Rocky Johnson's soul. They collected his soul at the Hall of Fame ceremony, and they were offering to sell it to, and they quote, white boys at weddings. And this is mildly funny.
That would be you.
Oh, absolutely. My whole family.
Yeah.
Trust me on this one. But
At least your dad's cool.
my dad's cool. My dad would probably not need this. Well, in a way. But I'm talking about my cousins and stuff. I have a lot of white boys in my family. I've seen them all dance at weddings. They need soul. So regardless, that was the highlight of this. And then they did 2 very lame jokes afterwards, and that's the biggest reason it went on too long.
Why do people dance that can't?
It's fun. That's the whole point of dancing, Brian, is because it is fun.
Explain this to me.
You gotta be kidding me.
No, I'm going to explain this to you, Vinny.
Okay?
Remember when you used to go bowling?
Sure.
Bowling's supposed to be fun.
Okay?
You were no good at it.
No.
You got so mad you quit bowling.
Right.
Dancing. You're no good at dancing, so how can it be fun? What's the difference?
There's no goal in dancing. The goal in dancing is to have fun. The goal in bowling is to knock the pins down, and if you don't do it, you're a failure.
But what if you're just going to hang out with pals, like you were supposed to be doing? It doesn't matter if you win.
Because, Brian, I usually didn't want to be there at all, really, honestly. I usually don't want to go going to the bowling alley felt like a chore.
But I mean, anything that you do that you're no good at. I just don't understand this idea of going out there and just being a bad dancer for fun.
You think you're supposed to go there, and so you think when people dance, their goal is, I'm going to step in this dance floor and I'm going to make everyone think that I'm cool.
No, not at all. I'm just saying that if I knew how to dance, then I would find it fun to dance. But if I just had no rhythm and I just could not dance, I would not find that fun at all.
So,
Well, I'll give you another
I
example.
can't believe I have to explain how life works to you, Brian.
Well, no, let
People
me...
dance because they are happy.
No.
They're at a wedding, that makes them happy, they feel like celebrating, music comes up, people start to dance, as Young MC said.
Young MC had soul.
He did, he was a
All
black
your
man.
white cousins, I just imagine them jumping up and down like a bunch of fish out of water. And to find that to be fun. I would find it fun to watch it, don't get me
That's
wrong.
what's fun, dude! They don't think they look cool, they think they look silly, and it's fun.
Well,
They all make asses out of themselves, and it's a great time.
I've learned a lot about your family here tonight. I need a poll
Okay,
on the board.
here's the one instance where I am in the majority.
We'll find out soon.
Oh, yeah, because if it's a poll up, you'll buy that for sure.
Oh, sure. If it's a poll, it'll surely be in my
I
favor.
can't believe you actually think people go dancing because they think they will end up looking cool.
No, it
Especially
has
white
nothing
people.
to do with that. It doesn't even have to do with being cool. Let's just say that I had one leg, okay?
Mhm.
And I was in a running contest. I ain't
Okay.
going to do very good.
I do not know.
I guarantee I wouldn't have fun. I wouldn't just hop for fun. I'd be like, this ain't no fun to not be able to do this. I don't want to do it. You know?
No, I don't actually.
I'm trying to think of an even better analogy here.
Because it's not a competition, Brian. Not everything in life is a fucking win-lose
Well, how about when
situation.
you were your wrestling career? When it wasn't fun anymore?
That's when I quit.
But wrestling should just be fun, just doing it.
I agree. And when it stopped being fun, I quit.
But why was it not fun?
Because I was wrestling the same people and dealing with the same shows and driving all over hell, and it was no longer new. When it was new, it was fun.
All right, this argument's ridiculous.
Better than talking about Raw.
I just don't see I don't know. I just think that not even trying to say, hey, everybody, look at me, I'm good, but just knowing yourself that you're no good.
And most people don't care, Brian. Most people don't. They say, look at me, I can't do this. Everyone's laughing at me. I don't care because I am so happy. That is the point of dancing.
It's just a foreign concept.
Yes, joy is in fact a foreign concept to you.
How dare you? What are you talking about? Why are you defending dancing of all things?
Because this
ain't
is so...
like
no.
It's not like football you're defending here. It's dancing.
It's not even... well, that's different too. If you don't like football, fine. If you don't like to dance, I'm not saying you should dance. I'm trying to explain to you why people do. And the answer is because they are having fun.
Okay, here's what I want everybody to do.
Fun for the sake of fun, which I know you can't comprehend.
I have a lot of fun doing a lot of things.
No, everything you do for fun, there has to be some ulterior motive.
Having fun.
You go bowling to beat people.
No, I don't. I go bowling because it's fun. If I threw the ball and I dropped it on my foot every time, no fun. I wouldn't go. Even if bowling's supposed to be fun.
Hey, bad dancing does not cause pain.
Hey.
To the viewer, perhaps.
Everybody, listen to me. Just please, I don't want to pull. I just want everyone to go on the board, make a thread, and explain to me if you think dancing is fun and why.
Particularly if you're bad at it.
Particularly if you're bad at it. And I want to know who is bad at it that still does it, and who is bad at it and just doesn't do it because it would be no fun to be a bad dancer. Somebody has to understand what I'm trying to say here.
I was a bad wrestler and it was fun for a while.
Then it stopped being fun.
Eventually, yes.
Yeah.
Because I did doing it every weekend. If I was dancing every weekend, it would stop being fun.
Okay, well that's almost what I'm trying to say. When did Ed in San Antonio talk about what a man Lance Storm was?
Was that in the limo?
I don't remember him saying that.
I remember him... He criticized Dave Meltzer and Anchor.
He did. He said that Mike Sawyer was the man.
True.
Probably myself as well, but we all know that. Now, let's just play this again. Ed. This is a winner.
Terrifying.
This is success in every way. That was an awesome song.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. God damn, I'm funny. I amuse me.
Hello? 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 Hello?
Oh, Ian.
He's a fan.
He is a big fan. It is Monday, April 14th, 2008, here at Figure4Online.com, the day before tax day. Get your asses in gear, everybody.
Oh, crap.
Oh, yes. Now's the time to buckle down. And I got to start off by saying that...
Oh, crap. I didn't realize that.
Are you serious?
Yes, thank you for letting me know. I'm in trouble.
You've got to be kidding me.
I knew I didn't realize it was that late in April. I got to get in the ball here.
Jesus
Monday's going to be a fun
Christ.
day.
Aren't you glad this show exists?
I'm so happy right now.
I thought you were joking.
No, I'm actually this stupid.
That is baffling. That is baffling. I've been working on this for months.
Well, your taxes are also much more complicated than mine.
That is undoubtedly true. But, wow, what a dumbass. Anyway.
Indeed. That we agree on.
Speaking of dumbasses, I don't like to...
Says the guy in the Nancy Grace fan hat.
I don't like to mock people for their opinions. I was going to wear sunglasses during the show tonight like Howard Stern.
Sure.
But I realized nobody could see me, so what's the point?
I think he was wearing those before they started taping his show. But anyway.
Maybe I'll start doing that from now on, just so I feel cooler when I do this show.
Sure, I'll go get mine.
No.
I don't get to be cool?
You can't be cool.
I can be cooler?
Not really.
Come on now.
You lost your sunglasses anyway.
I've got new ones.
That's the utmost of uncool when you lose your sunglasses.
I will concur that at that moment I was terribly uncool.
Now, I don't want to, as I mentioned before, I don't like to make fun of people for their opinions, as you're all aware.
No, you're a very open-minded man.
I am a very open-minded man. I understand that some people like things and other people don't, and that's totally fine. However, those of you that didn't like the lockdown show, seriously, what the fuck do you want in a pay-per-view?
I don't know.
This is a mystery to me.
When you mentioned you got an email from somebody who really hated the show, all I could think was, they must hate all MMA, and they thought the main event wasn't phony enough. That's the only thing I could come up with.
I went on the board, and I was just reading. There were so many people that thought this was a bad show, and a bad main event, and people saying that Shawn and Flair was a better match, and now God bless Shawn and Flair, two of my favorite wrestlers of all time, maybe my two favorite wrestlers of all time. This was much better.
Yes.
I hate to break it to you.
In every conceivable manner.
This is the other thing that I've never understood this, okay? People always talk about how I'm anti-TNA and I hate TNA and this and that. And I've said many times, I just hate Impact. I just hate Impact. And actually, I liked Impact this week. But normally, I just hate Impact. It's not a TNA thing. And I am perfectly able to say when Impact is good. Now, we have a big TNA fan on the board, Crumbly. Huge TNA fan.
He's the one.
He's got Jeff Jarrett as his avatar or his SIG, or he used to, and he's always talking about how great TNA is, and I always sit there and I think, I can't respect you.
I cannot take anything you say seriously now.
This is not about, if you like TNA, great, okay? But I just cannot respect anybody who's going to tell me that everything this company does is great. It's just plain not true.
It is false, yes.
Just like it is not true that everything that TNA does sucks. Okay? There were things on this show, granted, that were dumb. These people do not know how to do war games.
No, that's
fine.
clear. That is clear.
That's fine. There were some things on this show that were dumb. There were some matches that really weren't very good. But you know what? This was a great pay-per-view. This was a great pay-per-view. They did the biggest crowd they've ever drawn anywhere in the world. These fans were going nuts for everything.
Mm-hmm.
They went nuts for the main event. There was a segment of the crowd that wasn't going nuts for the main event, but you're going to have that anywhere. But the crowd overall was going nuts for this main event. They went nuts for the entire show. They went nuts for things that I was baffled that they went nuts for, but hey, they went nuts for it. These were not the geeks from the Impact Zone. This was a brand new crowd from Lowell, Massachusetts.
Northeast geeks.
This was a success of a show.
Yeah.
And I can sit here and tell you that I hate Impact more than maybe anybody else on this earth, but I can tell you that this was a good show. And so I cannot take seriously anybody who goes one way or the other, that says everything TNA does is great. Even the worst Impact, I thought was good. Bullshit! You're a liar! You're a fucking liar! And the same goes for anybody that says that every TNA show sucks, and anybody that thought this was bad, I just don't understand.
Well, you mentioned...
Okay, I'll say this, though. If you didn't like the MMA stuff in the main event, fine. You're behind the times, but fine. It was still great. It's just like a Briscoes match. I've said this many, many times. I've watched a Briscoes match. I'm the sort of guy that would love to go in there with Buddy Wayne, like we did in Tulalip, and have nothing. In fact, let me tell you how nothing we had. Caden wanted us to do a 10-minute draw. We did a Frankensteiner finish in 9 minutes.
Oh.
That's what we wanted to do.
Okay.
This is what I like. We had no spots planned. Not a single fucking spot planned. We went in there. We didn't touch each other. Nobody got hurt. The people enjoyed it. Everything's happy. That's my kind of wrestling. The Briscoes go in there. There's 100 hot tags. There's all sorts of wackiness and hitting people as hard as you can. And that's not really my cup of tea. But I watch these fucking people go absolutely insane. I watch Alan Farrell getting very upset at me because I don't like a Briscoes match, and other people as well. And I could sit here and go, that was a good match. Fine. That was a fucking 3 3/4 star match. That was great. I can see that. I can understand that. If you didn't like the main event, fine. But I cannot see how you can watch that match and say, that was a bad match. That was a fucking great match.
You mentioned earlier that you don't hate TNA, you just hate Impact. I hate TNA. I hate this company. And I will stand before you and tell you, this show is awesome. And you mentioned that the first half of the War Games match, it's true, it's verifiable now. They have no idea what the point of War Games is or how to make it work. But as I sat there hating it, I couldn't help but notice that the thousands of people in the building loved it.
Yes.
So you know what? Who cares if they're not doing it, quote-unquote, right? They were doing it, and whatever they were doing, it worked. So, fuck, who cares?
That's the whole point of wrestling.
Yes.
It's whatever works.
Yes.
And this goddamn pay-per-view worked.
Indeed.
And this pay-per-view is going to do the biggest buy rate TNA's done, probably since the first Kurt Angle-Joe match. And people will still be talking about how this was a failure. Well, I'm afraid to tell you, you're wrong. I will note
We almost didn't see it.
yes, we almost didn't see it. People keep telling me to get a dish, and I may end up having to get a dish here.
Wouldn't you have to move to do that?
Well, there was a tree in the way.
Yes, I know what you used the term was.
I'm not sure I can cut this tree down, okay? So a dish may not be feasible. But the deal with Comcast, these people are so fucking retarded that you actually had a great idea, and that is I should call them and record the conversation for the beginning of the next show.
Yes.
I just need to record this so you can all hear the utter idiocy of these motherfuckers. I tried to order the show at 5 Pacific, and it recorded. It said, your purchase has been made, blah, blah, blah. I went out there at 5 minutes before. The pre-show was airing. The little record light was on. Everything was going great. I go out there at the first break after Observer Live. Black screen. Black screen.
Bad times.
I go to play the recording, and as has happened in the past, it played all the way up to 5 minutes before the show and then just froze. And I don't mean like I had recorded black. I mean, it just froze. And my DVR was just broken at this point. It's happened before last time. So, of course, I call these bastards at 7:50 to order the pay-per-view by phone, since when I tried to order with the clicker, which is how you normally order pay-per-views, it said your order cannot be processed or some such bullshit.
No, that's exactly what it said. There was no other explanation. Your order cannot be processed. I watched it. It was on your screen.
Please call 1-877-FUCK-YOU. So I call the number, and I get a human, and I said, hi, I tried to order the show at 5.
Actually, you are taking a shortcut.
I am taking a shortcut.
I know we want to get a lot of stuff in. You called the number. First, you got 2 busy signals twice.
Yes.
Third time, after a very long, complicated menu process in which I believe you had to input your information twice.
Yes.
Because this was on a speakerphone, so I heard it all. That's when I knew we had to record this next time. After about 5 minutes of this, you finally spoke to a human being.
I did. So I speak to a human, and I said, hi, I tried to order the show at 5, and it just didn't come on. And he goes, well, let me check your dealia bob here. And he starts going through everything, and I was like, well, hey, can I order it now? Can I order it before you start looking for whether it recorded at 5? Let's order the 8 o'clock one now. And he's like, okay, let me get that done for you. And you hear this typing, and then he goes, all right, can you see it? And I said, no, there's nothing. He goes, okay, change the channel and come back. Nothing. I got a little note on the screen that said your order cannot be processed. He said, what's it say? I said, my order cannot be processed. He goes, what else does it say? Nothing, that's it. He says. Well, hold on. Disappears for a good 5 minutes.
We heard the world's shittiest music as we waited, and it wasn't even coming in clearly.
No.
It was like an out-of-tune radio station.
Sure.
Like when you're driving in the middle of the desert.
Like they put a phone up next to a wind-up radio.
And the radio was winding down, yes.
So they comes back on and he goes, okay, what do you see now? I said, blank screen. He goes, okay, switch it to a low number, like 55. So I switched it to 55 and switched it back and nothing. He goes, what does it say? I said, nothing, it's blank. Well, what does it say? I said, well, let me try to order the goddamn thing. So I hit order again and it says, your order cannot be processed. He goes, hold on a minute, I'll be back. Disappears again. 5 more fucking minutes. So finally he comes back, and as he starts talking about something, like we don't know what the problem is, he's saying something like this, all of a sudden it just starts playing. And I said, it started playing, and he was like so excited that it worked.
Thrilled.
He was
on
like,
the hook.
oh, enjoy it tonight! And I was like, gee, thanks. And I hung up. 12 fucking minutes into the show.
Yes.
So thankfully we had not missed anything, but god damn, I've never seen any sort of business where they're trying to sell you something, and it's impossible to actually get what they're providing.
Yes.
It's like the Far Side comic with the inconvenience store, and everything's on a high shelf you just can't reach.
Indeed.
That's what this is.
Yes, and it's a monopoly.
Yes.
Unless you can get a dish, there's no other option.
There's no other option around
It's
here.
not like this is on Channel 4 on the local station.
Although there will be an option come this summer when Verizon will be offering cable. And since 2009, there will be the big digital switchover. I'm sure that Verizon will have a number of HD channels. And I am going to switch over, and I am just going to send the nastiest fucking email I can possibly write. And I may even do a letter to the editor and see how much of this I can get published with profanity and all. Just the biggest, fuck you, Comcast. Maybe just I could buy an ad that just said, F Comcast. A full-page fucking ad in the Seattle Times. And then have the Verizon thing down at the bottom. I'll fucking advertise for them!
My buddy of mine's girlfriend was laid off from her job, and after a month or so, I heard she got a new gig. I said, hey, that's great. What's she doing? And they said, she's answering phones at Comcast. And I paused for like a minute, and finally I just said, was there no job available torturing kittens or something even more evil? This is the most evil you could get?
No, and this guy was clueless. It's like they cannot provide what they are advertising, and the guy in charge is clueless. And then we had the main event. Kurt Angle and Joe for the title. This fucking ruled. They had a Tale of the Tape. They had Frank Trigg doing commentary, and Frank Trigg is awesome.
Oh, fuck yes.
This guy needs to be added to the commentary booth. He is so spectacular, and this was his second show. He did the live show, and he did this show. He is already better than Don West has ever been in his life.
Fuck yeah.
And he was in so many ways better than Mike Tenay. And Tenay actually had a good night. This was the perfect match for Mike Tenay. But Frank Trigg, fucking awesome.
Yes, it started off, and we'll discuss this in great detail, but it was a very MMA-heavy match at first.
Hold on, I'm not even at the match yet.
I just want to talk about Trigg.
All right, hurry up.
He was calling the MMA stuff awesome, and I thought, okay, he's here to do MMA stuff. Then when they moved into the big pro wrestling moves, he handled that too. So yes, he is better than West, he's better than Tenay, he's better than Coach, he's better than Cole, he's better than... I don't know if he's better than Taz and Styles. He's better than Lawler. The only guy I like better than Frank Trigg right now is Jim Ross.
What a team they'd be.
Awesome.
So, yes, we had the Tale of the Tape. We had the guys walking to the ring from the locker room, the pre-fight video packages like UFC, Simone dancers for the ring intro, Karen in the front row. Angle looked like a fighter.
He had MMA shorts on.
He had MMA shorts. He had his ankles taped. He had his fists taped. He was flanked by two mob-looking dudes. And he came out looking like he was going to have a fucking fight. And this man has been training. I mean, you could just tell watching this match that he has been training like a motherfucker for probably not any real fights coming up, but he's been training like he's going to have a real fight. And I hope Joe was actually doing 2 to 3 sessions per week because he looked like he was getting tired midway through there, right before the long figure 4 spot.
True.
And Angle was just a machine. And this was the idea that I had for wrestling about a year ago. I thought this is where wrestling is going to go in the future. It's going to start out where the mat wrestling is more MMA-based, and then you move on to the high spots and the actual pro wrestling and the near falls there at the end. And that is exactly what this was. And my idea that everybody that is going to be a professional wrestler, even though it's fake, should be training like they're training for a real fight. That is what I firmly believed, and that is what Kurt Angle did here. That is what they did here in this match. It was very MMA based early on, and pretty solid, all things considered. There were holes in it, as you'll always find when guys aren't actually doing MMA fighting, but all things considered, you would have to be a huge MMA fan to notice these holes, or somebody that's trained it, and it doesn't matter, because it's fake pro wrestling and everybody knows what it is, but they worked very hard early doing the MMA style, the kicks, the punches, the guard, the submission attempts, the rope breaks. They worked this. They didn't work this like a UFC fight, because the rules obviously in pro wrestling are different. They worked this like it was two pro wrestlers that were going to have a shoot pro wrestling match. That obviously means a little bit of MMA groundwork. That means rope breaks if you're close enough to the ropes. That means a suplex here or there, an overhead suplex. Kurt threw in there some pro wrestling style submissions like a figure four, which would hurt like a motherfucker, but you're never getting that on anybody in a real fight. And a bunch of other different spots like that. And it started out very MMA based. Then they started moving into the pro wrestling stuff, and then it became a pro wrestling match at the end. And finally, Joe threw him headfirst into the cage, the only fucking time that they used the cage in the entire match. He threw him into the cage, he super kicked him, and then he put him on the top rope, and he gave him a muscle buster and got the clean pin. And it was fabulous. This was a fabulous fucking match, and I could have wept at how great it was. 2 thumbs up. I gave it. I didn't actually give it a star rating. I'm gonna have to think. I'm gonna have to watch it again. But it was high in the 4 stars. This particular match.
Yes, I would. So far, it's easily the match of the year. It started off as you noted. It was a shoot pro wrestling match because you guys couldn't stay in the guard for too long because your shoulders are down.
Yeah.
So they had to kick out of that. There were plenty of rope breaks because that's legal. And Trigg, even late in the match, Angle was in the choke, and he grabbed the ref and used the ref to pull himself to the ropes. And Trigg just pointed out, hey, great idea. And they tried to chastise him. That's cowardly. That's bad tactics. And Trigg's like, what? It got him to the ropes. It's fine. But early on, Joe a couple times hit the ropes, and it always backfired. He always ran into a throw or into a clothesline or into a kick or something. So the point of this was MMA is beating pro wrestling early. And then by the end, when it was time for the big moves, there were power bombs and slams and chop battles, and it was great. And I was watching the whole thing thinking, this is my favorite match I've seen all year by a wide margin, and I just know it's going to get fucked up when Karen Angle's going to run in, like every other TNA main event ever. And I wasn't willing to let myself get hooked into the match, because I knew it would be taken away from me at the end. And then Joe pinned him. And I screamed, holy shit! Joe pinned him! And I thought, wow, that was the match of the year. So yes, this was awesome. You get the replay, you get the DVD, watch it over and over again, and bask in the glory. This match ruled.
I said this on Observer Live, and I think I said it when we were talking about Impact, but Samoa Joe should have won the title like a year ago. When they first did this feud, and they had the 3 matches, and Joe lost all 3, I believe it was. Or no, he won the second one, and he lost the first and third. He really should have won the title in that 3rd match. Did he win the 2nd match?
I believe it went Kurt, Joe, Kurt.
How did Joe not win the title in the 2nd match then?
Kurt wasn't champion then.
Oh, that explains it. But anyway, Joe should have won the title a year ago. Preferably in that 3rd match with Angle or the 2nd match or whatever it was. That was a time when he was at his hottest. And Angle had been portrayed largely as a geek for a long, long time, and it was only very, very recently that they started pushing him as a real main eventer. And I was watching the build up to this, and I was even watching the match, and God bless Samoa Joe. I love Samoa Joe, but Angle should be the champion of TNA. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now is not Joe's time. Joe's time was a year ago. And maybe there will come a point where it's his time again, but it really has come off in the last several weeks like this is Kurt Angle's time. This is the guy, this is almost that old school where everybody in the company's a geek, but this is the fucking guy that is leagues above everybody else, and if you had to take a guy in your company and have him represent you elsewhere in the world in another form of combat, or if you had to send one guy to WWE in a dream match or whatever to face their champion, who would you fucking send? Kurt Angle!
He is great. He's fucking great.
And I was talking earlier about opinions and how I cannot respect people's opinions. Anybody who tells me with a straight face that Kurt Angle is no good, fuck you.
Fool!
I have no respect for your opinion, okay? You don't have to say that he's the best wrestler in the world or anything like that, but to tell me that Kurt Angle is no good, you have no idea what you're talking about. You have no idea what you're talking about. This man is fucking phenomenal. Phenomenal. And he was in the best shape I think that he's been in years and years and years and years. He came into this match looking like he could wrestle for 2 hours at a good clip and not get tired. This guy fucking took this so seriously. A fake fight! He took this so seriously, and he was the man this evening. He was the man. Like, this was the match where Joe won the title. It was his night and everything like that. God bless Joe, but this was Kurt's match. He was the fucking man here. And I don't know where they go with him. I hope they continue on this road. Kurt Angle is the comedy geek, is funny. God damn, he's funny. But he is so much more effective in this role. And I really think the show's doing 30,000 buys, and I'm very happy that it's doing 30,000 buys because those people saw a goddamn good show.
Maybe they can do it so that this loss motivates him.
Could be.
And he rebuilds himself as a serious ass kicker, and then he goes on to kill everyone.
Just come on and just kill everybody week after week for 6 months, and then do another match with Joe, and we'll see what happens there. But Joe versus Steiner in May should be pretty damn fun. I think that'll be an exciting little match right there if Steiner has the cardio to go any length of time. So that appears to be where they're going right now. But just a fantastic match. Just a great, great match. And that really made this pay-per-view. So,
you know, we talk about how...
all thumbs up. Fingers, toes.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah, all body parts up. We talk about how when you're selling a pay-per-view, only the main event matters. That's what people buy it for. And just by that, this pay-per-view has to be a giant success.
It is.
What more could you want?
Well, I don't know. Apparently some people have some ideas. But I don't know what you could do. This was just great. And it was, you know, you can forget all that stupidity on the undercard when you have a match this great. You have main eventers that do the main event matches and have the main event feuds. They sell the pay-per-views. They're the ones that you treat seriously. And it doesn't matter if everybody else is a geek.
Yeah.
It totally doesn't matter. Those of you, when you think about WWE during the boom period and how great it was, people reminisce, there was some shit. There was some utter shit in WWE during the glory period. You just had awesome fucking main events on every show. That's what people remembered. There was some horrible stuff.
Which time frame we're talking about here?
The whole late 90s.
Okay, then yes. You had the Godwins. You had the Headbangers. You had all that crap.
But it didn't matter because you had the
Adam
Austins
Bomb.
and the Rocks and everybody on top, and that's what mattered.
Yeah, it's kind of getting sidetracked here, but I remember when there was a WCW video game, and then they sold the license, and WWF came out with their version. Same game, but their roster. We were all excited. Yes, we finally get to play this game with our favorite guys. And once you got past the Austins and the Undertakers and the DXs, there was nothing on that game.
No.
Their roster sucked outside of the top.
Yeah.
I fought the gay bug. I fought the gay bug. I fought the gay bug. Gay bug. Gay bug.
Again.
I fought the gay bug. I fought the gay bug. I fought the gay bug. Gay bug. Gay bug.
That's a perfect song. That was a perfect song right there.
I can't say I approve of the intent, but in execution, that was pretty well awesome. It made its point, made it clear, and then was done.
That's right.
Did not overstay its welcome.
That's right.
I ate too much.
Hello?
Oh, Coughlin, what's up?
Oh, not much.
We heard you grunting there at the beginning before you picked up.
Really?
Never mind. Tell us about your racist gimmick.
It's gimmick my ass. You know, the white man inside of me has snapped, and I've decided that darkies have held me back for far too long.
Oh, Jesus, here we go.
Tony told me to do it. It's all Tony's fault.
Now you're blaming Admin Nails? Did somebody say something that caused you to take on this persona or whatever you might call it? Where did this all begin? You don't say. Did we lose?
Yeah.
Oh, we missed you there. You disappeared.
Yeah, I know. My phone sucks lately also. Yeah, but, fucking piece of shit.
It's going to be a long
Yeah, it's
show.
a hell of a phone here. I don't know what's going on.
let's talk about the show. I don't know what happened in that last minute, but I ain't doing it over again. Just talk into that damn thing. Shut the movie off.
You know what's really funny? People pay for this show.
They do.
How can that be?
This is not a free show that people are listening to right now. As everybody's aware, I am not a man to bury our subscribers. I, of course, love all of our subscribers and am very appreciative of them. But we do have a small handful who are, in fact, mental midgets. Now, there have in the past been grave complaints about our TNA reports. People angry that we say the same stuff every single week. Brian, why do you always say the same stuff? We hear the same rant week after week after week. Why do you watch the show? Just stop watching it. I don't want to hear it. All right. Listen. Press stop now.
Are you saying you don't have anything good to say about Impact?
No, I'm just saying that's all you have to do. Why would we have a huge thread about how I should stop reviewing a show because I say the same things every week when you, the listener, can merely hit the stop button now?
I think we should stop reviewing the show because it sucks. I don't want to watch it anymore.
We have talked about everything else we're going to talk about. The only other thing we're going to talk about today is Impact. So, if you don't want to hear it, press stop now. Easy. Now,
are they gone?
I believe so.
Let's talk about Iron Ring.
I don't hear them right now. All right, let's talk about TNA Impact. If you're still listening, by the way, stop.
Really, all of you. Even if you like the TNA Ranch,
What's
stop
wrong
listening.
with you? If you don't like listening to this, why are you still listening right now? Are you a glutton for punishment? Are you do you cut yourself? What is it?
Perhaps they're addicted. They cannot turn the audio off.
It could be. Do we need to implement an ignore feature on this radio program?
You should block their downloading access.
Well, no. So you listen to it, and your iPod ignores the TNA references. Can we somehow work that in?
Talk to Tony, see if he can pull that off.
Perhaps that would make it easier for those of you that do not have the willpower to hit the button that reads stop. It is usually round and red. Or a square.
God, you're an angry little man.
Idiot.
Round and red is usually record, isn't it?
It is, actually. I was looking at the wrong
It's usually
button.
a green square.
It's usually a square, everybody. The one that is a square. 4 sides.
Although, if you do hit record, you just record over the TNA part. That works too.
Could be. Fuck you, Impact. Impact, fuck you.
You can suck my dick.
All right. At the movies with Bryan and Vinny. Last night we watched 310 to Yuma.
Mm-hmm.
That's right, not a wrestling movie at all. Fuck wrestling.
Correct.
Although 310 to Yuma did have a great heel, a great baby face. What else did it have? Angles,
Sidekicks,
posses,
non-active participants.
geeks. It was a great film. Vinny, what were your thoughts on this movie?
This was a fantastic movie. You're a big fan of westerns, I've noticed. You love Tombstone.
Yeah.
You love 310 to Yuma.
Assassination of Jesse James.
I have not seen that one.
Oh, you're a failure.
You had seen 310 to Yuma, I had not. And yes, this is a great movie with a fantastic baby face who you can't help but feel sympathy for.
Sure, one-legged man.
Well, indeed, a one-legged man who fights on despite his handicap, and his motivations are A, to do what's right in this world, and B, to see that his family is taken care of.
We got a one-legged man in an ass-kicking contest, literally.
Yeah, and he held his own, actually, all things considered. And he had a great heel who was both a complete evil dickwad and also damned entertaining to watch.
Yeah.
He was a fascinating personality, complex man, Bible reader,
Sure.
Bible quoter, also savage murderer.
Yeah.
It's very a larger-than-life character.
It's always good when you have I love No Country for Old Men.
Indeed.
You know what I mean? Had a great heel, best supporting actor, in fact, for this fellow. But at the same time, I've never been really a big fan of the heels that are just pure evil, like no redeeming qualities whatsoever. I just feel that there's nobody really that has no redeeming qualities whatsoever. Even like the worst person in the world, they may pick flowers here and there, something of that nature. It just seems like, that would be. It almost seems to me like it'd be too easy to play a character that has no redeeming qualities whatsoever. It's much. I like a heel much better that has some something in there that's human.
Charles
really.
Manson had a musical career.
Sure, he liked to play songs.
Mm-hmm.
Now this fellow in this particular film right here, he was a bad mamma jamma. I don't know if we should spoil this film here or not. Maybe we shouldn't, but I'll just say that there comes a point in the movie where the heel, in fact the babyface's son says, "You're not all bad," and the heel goes, "Yes, I am." But later you learn that maybe he's not really all that bad. But then there's also a little twist here and there where you realize that, well, he was
pretty damn bad.
He was he may have done a little favor here and there, but he wasn't setting himself up for doom.
Well, there is, even when he says "I am all bad," it's not true because we have seen him take mercy on people at one point.
Sure.
There's a point, and it's only like 10 to 15 minutes in the movie, so not spoiling anything, where he has the opportunity to shoot the hero and his two sons in cold blood. They're witnesses to his crime, so he would have a motive besides just being a dick, and he lets them off easy. Let's say. And he does this because they were just in the wrong place at the wrong time. They were not his foes. They were not his enemies. He didn't benefit from their death, so he didn't do it.
Yes.
But he could have. So, yes, he's a great heel with many facets to his character.
There is something that happens there at the very end of the movie. In fact, it's the whole point of the movie. So we can't spoil it here. But when I really watched it the first time, I was like, why would this man do this? I didn't understand his motivation. You know what I mean?
You mean...
It just seemed like it was too big a turn here at the very end of the film. But then when I watched it the second time, I understood better, and it actually got me thinking about TNA, where you see something in TNA and it makes absolutely no sense, but they never even try to have it make sense. It just flat out makes no sense, and it makes you angry. And in this film, there was something that when you really think about it, it's like, why would this man do this? This makes no sense.
Mm-hmm.
This is not something that a man would do in this position.
The heel takes an out-of-character action.
Sure. But then I watched it the second time, and there were more things that I didn't see the first time, including him looking down at his gun near the very end of the film, and it all made sense to me at that point. And certain things that he admitted actually helped tie the story together and helped it make sense. So I give this film 2 thumbs up.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I recommend everybody go out and purchase 310 to Yuma or rent it, preferably on high-def DVD.
Oh, he goes without saying.
Blu-ray. And you will not be sorry. It's playing on Comcast right now. You can get the HD version on Comcast on the on-demand menu for, I think, $6.99 or something like that. $6.99 well spent.
Let's be honest. Comcast offers this movie in high def, in demand. You can watch whenever you want. Thumbs up to Comcast.
Thumbs up to Comcast for this.
Yeah.
I will give them credit for not fucking up my HD movie orders. That has not yet happened.
I came over yesterday. I said, "Do you want to watch anything tonight?" And you said, "Well, how's the 24/7?" I said, "Okay." And I showed up, and 24/7 seemed to have nothing but Ernie Ladd matches. And you said, "How about a movie?" I said, "Great."
There you go. Although there's supposed to be that Ric Flair, Ricky Morton match on 24/7, but I was more into 310 to Yuma. So.
I do not regret this decision at all.
Anyway, maybe we'll do these on non-pay-per-view weeks and tell you whether you should see a movie or not. And I would guess that mostly I will recommend that you see movies because I'm not one that sees any movie that I think is going to be shit.
Well, let's see. Well, I'm going to see a bunch of movies here in the next month or so, and you will not come with me.
No.
You will not come with me to see Iron Man.
No.
You will not come with me to see Harold and Kumar Escape from Guantanamo Bay.
Possible.
Really?
After I saw a little bit of the White Castle movie, I was like, huh.
Dude, the White Castle movie is awesome.
So go on.
It's not something as one you would want to see. I actually called you Sunday, but you had to do the show. But I went to see Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
No.
Which is a fun comedy from a guy who makes nothing but fun comedy. So
no.
Yeah, we have different tastes. That being said, 310 to Yuma was good stuff.
I will also say that although I am a wrestling writer, I see my fair share of films, and I just want to throw out that 2007 was a fucking awesome year for movies. An awesome fucking year. So I hope you all enjoyed it, because we may not be having an awesome year like that.
Why do you list? I know No Country for Old Men.
So Old Country for Old Men. There was 310 to Yuma. What else do we have? Assassination of Jesse James, Sweeney Todd.
I never saw that either.
That was also a great film.
Has Johnny Depp in it, so it's guaranteed to be good.
Many, many great movies this year that I saw. Yo, what the fuck was that, you jackass?
Mike, I'm clumsy.
You always know a movie is good when you go back and see it a few times, and I saw many, many movies many, many fucking times this year.
I believe you told me you saw There Will Be Blood.
There Will Be Blood?
Is that 2007
How
movie?
the fuck did I forget that?
I believe you told me you saw that movie 4 times.
That was right around the cusp. I think I saw Assassination of Jesse James at least 5 times.
Wow.
And I saw No Country for Old Men 3 times. I saw There Will Be Blood, I think, 3 times. That one was a little harder because of my short attention span and the near 4-hour running time, or however the fuck long it was. But great year for movies, everybody. So anyway, shitty year for the wrestling business, but a great year at the movies. As some of you may well know by now, I am in fact no longer your ICWA Texarkana television champion.
Oh.
I have been defeated for the title at the Court Time Sports Center in Elizabeth, Pennsylvania last night. And I could come on here and give a number of wacky excuses and such, but...
Such as the flu?
Well, no, actually, I didn't get sick till today.
Oh, there you go.
I have no excuse. I was 100% last night. In fact, I may have been 150%. And I lost to a better man, Larry Sweeney.
Wow.
It was a 4-way match. Delirious was involved, Ruckus, myself, the ICWA Texarkana television champion, and Larry Sweeney, the Super 8 champion from last year. Both titles on the line. Not only did I not retain my title, but I had the opportunity to not only bring my title back home, but win his other title. I could have come home with 2 belts. Failed.
Damn it.
An epic fail it was. I will say, however, if there is good news to come out of this, it is that I really enjoyed the match.
That's good.
And I will be the first man to tell you if I've had a bad match. In fact, I did about a week ago. The first match at Quest Field. Seriously, this was the worst match in my career since the hair match with you.
Wow.
Wretched.
That's amazing.
A wretched, wretched battle. And I was a little concerned going into this 4-way because there's 3 other guys. I've worked with Larry before. Never worked with Ruckus. Never worked with Delirious. Had no idea what to expect here. 4 men doing a bunch of stuff. We were 10th out of 12.
That's also a bad sign.
That's when I knew there was trouble when I first showed up. 10th out of 12. 12 matches. So, going on 10th, obviously, they've seen it all. Motor City Machine Guns had already gone. Bad times. Bad times. So we came up with an idea, not to break any kayfabe here, but we came up with an idea, and I'm at my best when I go in there with, say, Buddy Wayne, and we just go.
Right.
We sit upstairs at Tulalip, and we don't speak to each other, and then right before it's our turn, we'll go, Hurricane Rana? Sure. Okay. And then we go out there.
Party.
That's not how this was.
I bet not.
It was a lot of complicated different ideas. I was under a lot of pressure, to be honest with you, because I wanted to do a good job. I would have been, of course, the weak cog in this wheel. So I was quite concerned because there were all these different things and this and that and the other thing. And long story short, everything went perfectly.
Yay.
Everything went perfectly. And although I am a far better babyface than a heel, I was the only heel in the match.
You must have had a ball.
I had the greatest time I had in my whole entire life. I made a child cry.
Yay!
And I actually
Did you chop him?
I felt bad about this, but... And actually, there was, as many of you are well aware, I forgot my trunks. Second time. I forgot my trunks going to Tulalip, and I forgot my goddamn trunks going to Philadelphia, Pittsburgh. Asked everybody if they had an extra pair of trunks that were not custom made. Of course, nobody did.
Not even Austin Kong?
No. I finally had to wear a pair of trunks that Larry Sweeney had worn to the building. It was a pair of swim trunks from Walmart, I believe.
Awesome.
34-inch waist, so I had to cinch them up real tight.
Did you tie him with a heavy rope?
They went down below my knees. I went out there looking like the biggest indie geek you've ever seen.
Awesome.
And
I need this DVD now.
I went out there looking like the world's biggest indie geek. I was the first one out, by the way, which I wasn't so sure about that idea. But I was the first one out, and I was wearing my geeky clothes and
the belt.
And I told the ring announcer to introduce me as Mr. Texarkana, try and get some cheap heat, that sort of thing. And I climbed up onto the turnbuckle, and I held the title high in the air, and I heard somebody yell something like, "You suck," or something like that, in the front row. And I looked down, and there's like 3 kids sitting next to each other, about 10, 11 years old. And I looked down and I yelled, "Who said that?" And the kid on the far left suddenly comes to attention, and his eyes grow wide, and he points to his friend.
Rat.
And I was like,
Snitch.
"You're not getting off this easy, fucker." And I said, "No, it was you. You tell me I suck? Get in this ring." And I went to the ref and I said, "Get this kid in the ring." And I beckoned to the ropes and I sat on them and this and that. I'm going, "You, get in here if you think I suck so bad." And all of a sudden I looked down and tears are forming in his eyes. And I was like, I feel horrible. So I shifted the heat to his front and I said, "So it was you!" And then Delirious came out and everything was happy again because the child's eyes lit up when the wacky masked man came out and he forgot all about the meanie that yelled at him. So, anyway, the swim trunks were a blessing in disguise.
Gee, Pete.
I started with Delirious, and as many people are aware, he does not speak English, but every now and then he spouts something out in the native tongue. So the bell rang, and he runs at all of his wacky circles, and he's making all of his noise, and I was just looking at him. And all of a sudden he stops, and he points at me like Hulk Hogan when he's doing the big finger point, and he goes, "Blah, blah, 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 swim trunks!" And he starts swimming in midair. It was the easiest match in the world from that point forward.
Yay.
And if I had not had those swim trunks, I have no idea what would have gone down to get any sort of heat whatsoever. Yeah, unacceptable.
Yeah.
So, anyway, everybody did their thing, and Ruckus and Larry did a Lucha High Spot, which everybody popped for. And Larry said he hadn't done a Lucha High Spot in 4 years, but it turned out great. The hip toss and the arm drag and that sort of thing. Ruckus did a bunch of flips. I, of course, avoided Larry Sweeney the whole time, since he is the biggest babyface in IWC. Like, in the entire company. He cut this promo on me beforehand that just started out low-key, you know, and then it built to the big crescendo, and his eyes are big, and his hair's all over, and he's spitting and screaming and strutting around, and everybody was just going crazy. And I thought, this is the biggest babyface I've ever seen at one of these shows. He was so popular. So that was also easy. So Ruckus did a wacky flip, and Larry rolled him up for the pin, and then we did a little stuff with Delirious, and then somebody came out and grabbed his girl, Daisy Hayes, and so he went to make the save and got counted out. And then it came down to me and Larry, and we just had an old-school match. I took him on all four sides of the ring, and I chopped him in front of the crying children and the screaming teenage girls and the usual redneck hit crowd. And then he made his big wacky comeback with the Ohio Valley backdrop. Super kicked him and he kicked out, since, of course, that was how I beat him last time. Missed the senton, as I want to do. And then he gave me a big pile driver and the big elbow for the pin. And everybody cheered and was all happy. And I rolled out of the ring and went up the ramp screaming that I would never come back to this town again, which is true. And he celebrated with his titles and everybody was filled with joy. And I was like, wow, that was fun.
Wrestling is good.
It was. And I was just very happy with how the whole... There were obviously many problems with the trilogy. Some of you are unaware of these problems, but there was almost no third match.
That would be a problem.
That was a major problem, specifically since I won the belt in the second match. But the way the story played out with double pin in the first match, I cheated to win in the second, and then he won as a babyface in the third and got his belt back, and everybody went home happy. It was just great. So I was very happy. It was a great show. Norm Connors, fine man. I say that about a lot of people that I meet on these trips, but this was a fine man. If you've ever, which none of you have, most of you, worked around Washington, a lot of geeks in promoting. A lot of geeks.
Universally, I would say.
In fact, there are many geeks that I've worked with. Not Norm Connors.
That's good.
Paid well. We went way over the time. I apologized to him for that. He said no big deal. He works as a funeral director. So earlier in the day, a kid had shot himself, and he had to go take care of that. And he said, after things like that on a daily basis, this wrestling stuff just doesn't bother me.
That's an excellent viewpoint, I guess.
Yep. Everybody was very friendly. It was just overall a great
Also
time.
unusual in Washington?
Yeah, there was no problems. There was no egos. Jerry Lynn was there, and he ended up winning the tournament over Davey Richards. Awesome Kong was there and beat Daisy. Had the four-way, the Motor City Machine Guns were there. Overall, just a fine thumbs-up night.
It does sound better than your typical ICW show.
Oh, God.
Oh,
so
yeah.
anyway, I just want to plug the DVD if anybody wants to get it. It was a fine show, and it didn't end up going 5 hours like many indie shows. He tried to get it over in 2, and the first half was over in I think he was trying to get over in 3. First half was over in like an hour and 20 minutes, or maybe an hour and 40 minutes, And then Sandman came out after us and added an hour to the show or so, walking around the crowd and drinking. And I just remember after the show, we were all just outside, and Sandman comes barging through, and he's Sandman all the time.
You don't
he's
say.
He's never not Sandman.
I can't imagine that.
Yeah, he's Sandman outside exactly as when he goes to the ring. He's got the same voice. He's all wacky. He's got beer everywhere. He's always carrying his cane. He's always a Sandman.
Was he wearing Zubas?
Yeah, I think so.
Excellent.
I think it was jeans, actually.
That's almost good enough.
But he just comes by and he goes, "Oh, the idiot rat." And I just looked at him and he goes, "I don't think I took a single bump." And then he just went off to piss somewhere. And I was like, that was a life-changing moment right there.
Perhaps he was drunk.
He may have been. He may have been. So, overall, a fun show. I want to say hi to everybody that I met there. I met a bunch of different people, including one man who I believe ended up being the referee, who actually bought Chico 5 and 6.
Wow.
I didn't even think such a thing was possible.
Am I on those?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. There's a man there that had the book to sign. I want to apologize. I forget who it was, but somebody was at the show, and they were sad that I didn't come out during intermission, and it was not going to work out, and I apologize for that. I didn't know what the deal was going to be, if there was going to be something to do after the show or whatever, but I apologize for not seeing you, and I thank everybody for coming out, and it was a good time, and thanks to everybody in the match. Everybody was great. Nobody got hurt. Nobody hit each other very hard. Delirious was awesome. Ruckus was awesome. Larry was awesome. The referee was awesome.
How are you?
That's fine.
Okay, good.
Everything was great. So, anyway, that's the story of the loss of my title, and what can you do? It is now time to just move on.
All you can do is double your efforts, train harder, and go get it back.
Bullshit. It's not happening.
All right.
The story's over. I did my best. So, flew out there, flew back. Now I got the flu. That was the end.
That was the end.
I didn't stop it, everybody.
Wow.
Whoever made that, fuck you. Boy, now everybody's really missing the Iron Sheik and the Great Collie.
That didn't work. That didn't work at all.
Well, what can you do?
I don't know. I don't blame you. I'm assuming you went to where the drops are supposed to be and you downloaded an audio file, right?
Well, there's a folder called Songs, and that was the first one.
See.
Failure.
There's no wrestling tie into that.
I hope all you are happy now.
Maybe there's an Iron Sheik drop in there we missed. Play it again.
Oh, he's sick of the Iron Sheik and the Great Collie? Well, that's what you get. That's what you get.
Hello?
I love you, won't you tell me your name?
Hello?
I love you, let me jump in your game.
Hello?
I love you, won't you tell me your name?
Hello?
I love you, let me jump in your game.
Hello? 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 Hello?
Come on, Granny.
Hello?
Granny,
Yeah?
what's going on?
Not much.
We thought you might not answer the phone because you haven't been on in 2 weeks.
Oh, I was thinking about not to.
Really?
Why?
You're going to stand us up.
I'm just kidding.
Hello?
I said I'm just kidding.
Jeez. What's going on over there, Grandma?
Can't you hear me?
You're kind of going in and out like you're putting the phone down and such like that.
Well, it's this phone that your brother-in-law gave me.
Tony.
That would be Edmund Nails.
Yeah.
Yeah?
So if I hold it just one wrong way, then it goes off.
Well, don't hold it no wrong way.
I can't because my hand goes to sleep if I use it on the same hand each time.
Can we put it on speakerphone?
No. Your hand goes to sleep, you say.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if you have to switch it, just do it while we're talking so that we don't hear you switching it.
Well, my other ear doesn't work too well.
Can you put it up to your nose? Granny, what did we miss the last 2 weeks?
Oh, not too much. That Trump, he's such an idiot.
What happened?
Well, you might know he gave it to the bad guy. I mean, I should have known that right along.
I didn't. Tell us what happened.
Well, they had an auction, and as usual, Pierce was being a bad guy and stuff, and so at the very end, he picked Pierce as the winner.
You picked Pierce.
Of the whole show?
Huh?
Of the whole season?
Yeah.
He won this year.
Yes, he did.
So now what does he get as a result of this? Is he now working for Trump?
I don't know. He's just whatever they were going for.
Paid a lot of attention to the show, I see.
Well, it's been almost, 2 weeks or something?
It has been 2 weeks. That's true, Granny. I'd forgotten what the show was called in that 2 weeks.
Yeah, and it was kind of a miserable 2 hours, so, you're not really into it that much and have to sit there.
Well, thank God you never have to watch that show again, huh?
That's right.
That's right. Put your foot down.
And then on to the Dancing with the Stars.
Granny just keeps the show going.
Just go with any time.
Yeah.
First night, Penn and Monica, the tennis champ, they got out first.
Oh.
Wait, 2 people on the same show?
Yeah, because they eliminated 2 people. Even I remember this.
All right.
Yeah, the first night. And then guess who they sent out the second night?
Adam Carolla.
Nope.
Wow.
Really?
Steve Goodnour.
Steve Goodnour.
Gutenberg?
Yeah, he was the second one out. And that Marissa, she's a little chubby one. She got the least amount of points, but she got to stay.
I don't know who Marissa is, but Adam Carolla is still on the show. This is astounding to me.
Now, how's he doing as far as points?
Let's see. Christy, the ice skating champer, she's in first place.
Oh, good.
And
okay.
Priscilla Presley second. But, the second night, Priscilla tried to get a little bit sexy, and the judges didn't like her because she's got too much class to do that. So.
Well, she was married to Elvis Presley, of course.
Yeah, so she's got a lot of class, and she was second. So, and that Adam, he really is not a dancer. He's pretty bad.
No, that's not his calling in life.
Now, Granny, how do you think that Elvis Presley would have done if he were on Dancing with the Stars?
Well, he could wiggle pretty good.
He certainly could.
Tell me more. Actually, don't.
That's about all he could do, just wiggle the bottom part.
You don't think Elvis Presley was a good singer?
Well, I like his music. I have him tape in my car I listen to all the time, but as for liking him, I didn't like him personally.
Well, he was kind of a character.
Yeah, he was okay, but I didn't really care that
He was
much.
the king, Grandma.
Well, and his movies weren't really that good either.
That is true. I've seen Blue Hawaii.
Well, what celebrities' movies were any good?
The what?
Never mind.
Tom Hanks.
So, what?
He's a celebrity.
I meant like a singer, like a Britney Spears.
And I watched a little bit of Raw tonight, and
SmackDown.
the one guy that came out and gave poor Sean a bad time for beating Rick.
Ric Flair, yes, that would be Batista.
Yeah, was that him?
That was Batista, yes.
Oh, it was pretty sad. Poor Sean felt so bad.
Was he mean to Sean?
Then I'm wondering, wouldn't it have been better if they'd have let Rick win for his last match?
Well, you have to understand that Ric Flair was a guy that always wanted to lose, and if anything, there was a big fight backstage about who would lose. So,
oh, really?
Yeah, Ric Flair was he always liked to let the other guy win. So.
But who came up with a decision then?
Well, they'd been talking about it for a long time, and it was something that they both came up with, him and Vince McMahon, and I think that some of Flair's friends, like Triple H, were afraid that he was going to die in a match at some point, so they decided to give him a 6-month retirement dealy-a-bob here and let him have some matches and go out on top, so that was what happened. Granny read the whole story.
Oh, and this gal that's in the wheelchair, is that Guerrero's widow?
That's Eddie Guerrero's widow, yes.
Oh, she's ugly.
Oh, Grandma, she's a widow.
I don't care. She stinks.
Granny really gets into the heels.
Sylvie was telling me something about she fell out of the wheelchair and she got up and ran or something.
She's not really in a wheelchair.
That's
part of the act.
Yeah, that's part of the reason that we're supposed to not like her. You see, she's you know how it is, Granny.
And she's the general manager of SmackDown.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's ridiculous, isn't it?
I can believe that.
Granny's starting to watch wrestling again.
Well, I did just a little bit because my friend keeps saying how she enjoys it. So, and I was going to tell you too, your newsletter this week was really good because I usually don't read them, but I sat 3 o'clock in the morning and sat here and read almost the whole thing.
Wow.
Well, hopefully that won't happen again.
Well, hopefully everybody else listens to Granny and thinks that they should start reading the newsletter now. It's got her seal of approval.
And I think this one you should put away special because this will someday be a
collector's item.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. We may have to order some extras or something like that. We've gotten a few requests for people that want a hard copy just to for the history of it. So.
Oh, I've got a few, but not that many left.
Well, maybe we'll print up some extras or something like that. So. Well, Granny, so I guess you'll just be watching Dancing with the Stars now. No more Apprentice, and maybe some wrestling here and there. Is that the plan?
Well, I guess so. I don't mind watching it every once in a while, but I felt so sorry for Sean. He just felt so bad, and everybody picking on him.
Felt so bad she just doesn't want to watch anymore. Wow.
Some of it's good and some of it's not.
Well, it is a sad tale that everyone's picking on him, Granny understands.
Yeah.
Well, Granny, we're going to wrap it up here today, unless you have any notes that you were going to bring up.
No, I don't really have. Oh, I had one thing. Somebody asked something about how we churned butter when I was a kid.
Yeah, that is an interesting question. How did you churn butter?
Well, you use a gallon can that's got the lid on it.
Uh-huh.
And they put a little hole in the top, and then they took a kind of a round little pole, and at the bottom they nailed 2 little boards across the bottom, little tiny pieces of wood.
I see.
At the bottom of this round thing, and then you put the cream in there, and you sit there, and you pump the thing until you get butter, and it takes about 2 hours, and I'm the one that had to do it.
Wow.
You sound like you miss it.
Granny, you were a hard worker.
I know, it took about 2 hours to get that cream into butter.
Now, you used to help Terry build fences, is that correct? A lot of hammering and nailing and such?
Well, this week I reinforced my arbor. My arbor out in front, it's kind of leaning over, so I reinforced it and painted it. I'm going to paint it black.
Good God, Granny.
So, and I decided I'm going to get up on the ladder to do the top.
Hold on a second.
On,
you don't have any friends?
You've got a perfectly healthy young grandson here who can paint anything for you.
Nobody will help me.
Oh, you never even asked.
I'm crying.
Oh, Grandma, please. Queen of the guilt trips.
Nikki said she'd come over and hold the ladder.
Oh, that's good. That
She'll
makes me
hold
feel
the
much
ladder.
better.
Never climb the damn ladder. She doesn't have a fake hip.
I'm just kidding.
Goodness. Granny's the biggest troll on this website here.
Oh, anyway, did you have fun, you guys? Oh, another thing, too, I think Craig didn't like traveling with you, Brian.
He did. He just puts on a facade.
He put on some pretty bad stuff on the internet about you.
He's just playing around. You know how Craig is.
Oh, okay.
And he didn't travel with me anyway. He traveled with Vince.
Craig and I spent way more time together than Craig and Brian, and Craig and I get along fine. Because we're the kind of guys who drive down the road and we'll say, "You hungry? No. Let's eat there." Okay.
Any hatred that Craig had for Vinny, I think he just took out on me. So we just had Craig on the show. He was very friendly. He was a little drugged up because he was not.
He's in pain.
He's in pain. He's got a bad hoof, Granny. So,
does he have to take pain pills?
Well, it takes a little...
have to is the right word, but he does.
Ibuprofen here and there. You know how it is, Granny. You know how it is dealing with pain.
Oh, I don't have any pain.
Me neither. That's great. It must run in the family.
Yeah.
All right, Granny, we're going to let you go. We've overshot our target here.
Okay.
All right, you be prepared for next week, then, with another list.
Okay.
Okay.
All righty.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye.
Granny was just about as excited as Mae Young on this show today.
She, taking that week off, reinvigorated her.
She really did. Now we have to talk about the rest of this crap.
I want to talk to her more about butter.
Well, next time.
Butter you train yourself better than butter you buy at the store.
Hello?
Granny.
Yeah.
Goodness, you sound sick.
I'm sicker than a dog.
Oh, no.
Wow. Well, we got a really big show tonight, and we didn't really have too much time for you, but I wanted to call to say I hope you get well.
Oh, well, that's good.
Well, you have the flu?
You have scurvy?
Yeah, well, you guys had it a long time ago, and I thought, oh, I'm a smart one. I'm not going to have it.
This is intelligence-based, this illness?
Now I wish that I had it at the same time you did, and I'd have been over it.
How long you been sick?
It started the day before yesterday.
Well, that's not too bad.
Well,
Do you feel better today?
No, I feel worse today.
Uh-oh. That sucks.
When you had it, did you have a lot of coughing?
That's what my mom had.
You didn't have it? What did you have?
I felt like I was going to die. Just generic death.
You didn't have a lot of coughing?
I didn't have coughing, no.
Oh, that's what I've got.
Uh-oh. Hope you don't have pneumonia.
No, I don't think so, but I went to bingo today, and then I came home and worked out in the yard.
Great, so you infected hundreds of others.
Excuse me?
Good God.
Anyway, let's get this Dancing with the Stars out of the way so I can go to bed.
Good idea. What happened?
Well, the gal with the most class was the one that got booted out, Priscilla.
She has the most class?
Yeah, she had the most class than any of them.
Why do you say that? She had stuff put in her face and she melted.
Well, it's just that, the rest of them, the sexier they get, the better the judges like it. And I'm just not one. I don't like the music at all this year, and I don't like the way they dance. And I like the second night the best when they have the little kids.
Yeah, that's true. But you can't have little kids every time, I guess.
Yeah, they're going to have two dancing against each other every second night till it's over. 2 children? Yeah, kids that for 8 to 10 years old.
Oh, wow. They should just have only kids. Forget these idiot adults.
Dancing with the children.
That's the way I feel about it, because the kids, they're so cute.
Dancing with the child stars. You could have Webster, Macaulay Culkin.
Webster. Who was not a child when Webster was being filmed.
Well, it's quite down now. So that's the Dancing with the Stars update, correct?
Yeah, and the only other thing
Gary Coleman?
Do you guys ever watch Deal or No Deal?
No.
I've seen it a time or two.
Heard of it, but I don't watch it.
Well, Monday nights are going to have 2 hours of it, and President Bush is going to be on it.
President George Bush.
Yeah, he's going to
Not George Bush from Yuma.
What's that?
Never mind. President George Bush is going to be on it.
Yeah, and he's going to try to win the $1 million so he can start paying back the debt that he put us in.
You've got to be kidding me. That's what they're saying?
No, I'm just trolling you.
Granny, is he really going to be on the show even?
He is going to be on it. But,
I thought you were making up the whole story at that point.
No, there's going to be a soldier from Sumner that's going to be on the show.
Really?
And he's gotten a bunch of medals, so George Bush is going to be, he's not going to be on the show, but he's going to be on the screen.
I don't like making political statements or anything like that, but economy sucks.
I know.
World's ending. Global
That's right.
warming. Global warming has struck with a vengeance, and George Bush is on Deal or No Deal. That tells you something right there, everybody.
Yeah.
I hope he's the guy making the deals.
I've been telling you right along, this whole world's going nuts.
It's going crazy, isn't it, Granny?
Yeah.
We'll
And
have,
then just,
we'll have to have you on the show one of these days and just talk about how the world's ending.
well, go to church and they'll tell you.
They've been telling them that for 2,000 years, though.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Well, Granny, I want to wish you well.
That theory down.
And, you've got that Medicare or whatever you've got now, so maybe Monday, if you don't feel well, you could head into the doctor and see what you got.
Well, what good would that do? Because I just got the flu. They don't have any pills or anything for it.
Well, maybe you do have scurvy.
Well, tomorrow I want to go to church, and then I want to go play pinochle, and then I'm going to a play at the senior center.
My God, Granny, didn't you ever take a rest?
I got to get in as much stuff as I can before the world comes to an end.
Good point. Well, Granny, go get to bed and get some rest.
Okay, I'll try if I don't cough all night.
All right, well, send me an email tomorrow and let me know how you're feeling.
Okay.
Okay, we'll talk to you after a while.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.
Sad to hear old Granny under the weather.
It sucks that she's sick, but that was the funniest coughing fit I've ever heard in my life.
Vinny, please. My grandmother.
Terrible.
Hoy. Just sent Vince out to shut down all the lights and the fire. Had the fire on. And by that I mean the fake fire.
Hello?
Granny,
Yeah, how you feeling?
I'm a little under the weather.
Oh, is it jet lag?
Uh-oh, what's wrong with your phone?
Oh, I'm holding it the wrong way.
Oh, there we go.
I'm back.
Okay, always good to hold it the right way.
I know. I was putting my book away.
What are you reading?
What book are you reading?
I'm reading the Joel book that you got me for Christmas.
The Job?
Joel Osteen?
Joel.
Oh, Joel Osteen.
Yeah.
Wow. Taking you a while to get through that baby, isn't it?
And I'm almost to the end of it.
Oh.
And I'm instant messaging Nikki.
You've figured out the IM.
Yeah.
Thank God I don't have it. I mean, it's too bad. Anyway, Granny, how you feeling?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm not as good as I thought I was because I went today and I was going to come home and work in the yard and decided to take a nap instead.
Health got the better of you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know what you mean. We just called to see how you were doing because last time you were on the show you were very sick, and so we wanted to check in. You had a
Yeah,
coughing fit and we thought you were going to die.
I was sick from Thursday until, about yesterday.
Oh, God, that's a horrible thing to tell me. I don't want to hear that.
Man, I'm still not exactly.
Well, you were
know.
coughing and hacking and spitting and all that. I'm just hot. I just
Yeah.
got a fever.
Huh.
Well, did you watch the shows this week, Granny? Did you see wrestling?
Did I watch? I watched a little bit of it. What was it, last night?
Last night? Impact?
SmackDown.
Oh, SmackDown. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Was it any good? Because I didn't see it yet.
Oh, it had something to do with Undertaker and keeping his belt or whatever.
Good report. Good. Did he keep
Yeah,
it?
it was a good report.
Did he keep it?
Did I what?
Did he keep the belt? Unlike me.
Yeah, he did.
Well, see, he's a better pro wrestler than I am, Granny.
Definitive proof. Undertaker is better than you.
Yeah.
Well,
Sorry
the way
I let you down.
Brian, the way I feel about that belt, I mean, you had to give it up sometime because those guys back there need it worse than you do.
That's undoubtedly true, Granny. That's
Yeah.
undoubtedly true.
Are you suggesting he threw the fight?
No, I'm just saying that it was just bound to happen, and
I see.
now I'm glad he won't have to go back there anymore.
Yeah, well, this travel was just I don't know if it was a travel that made me ill, but yeah, travel.
Well, you sound better than you did earlier.
Yeah, I took some ibuprofen and I feel a little bit better. So.
Oh, that's good.
Well, Granny, we just wanted to call and check in and see how you were doing and all that good stuff.
What about Dancing with the Stars?
Is it still on?
Oh, yeah.
I gave up on that show.
Think about 6 more weeks.
Well, what happened this week, very quickly?
I'm trying. Oh, the Marlene, the deaf gal, she got.
Oh.
Yeah, she had to leave.
Yeah,
So.
handicap or not, cut.
Yeah, I'm not that fond of the show that much anymore. I don't like their music and
No stars?
no stars that I really care about. I haven't voted for anybody this year.
Really? You used to give out the number every week.
Oh, yeah, I used to do my 5 or 6 or whatever for our choice. But
Just don't care no more?
We don't have one.
Do they still have the dancing children?
Yes, I do, and I love those.
Those are the best thing on the show, aren't they?
Yeah, they are so cute.
Yeah.
Oh, I wanted to tell you something, little Carlos. We went to Walmart Friday.
Yeah?
And he keeps saying, Granny, you're old. You're old. And I said, Carlos, I'm not old. How old do you think I am? And he said, 1,500.
Wow!
I laughed so hard I almost made him embarrassed.
1,500 years old.
1,500.
Wow. This is the same kid that we were watching a fighting pay-per-view, and there was a guy named Butterbean on there that was 420 pounds or something like that. And Tony goes, "See, Daddy's not as fat as that guy, is he?" And Carlos says, "No, I don't think so." And I cackled. So, kids, they're awesome.
Oh, he's such a little cutie.
Yeah, he is.
Hey, and I saw Tony with his haircut.
Yeah, Tony looks like, who does he look like? Pedro Hizzo now. He's buzzed his head.
Yeah, it just so different. I was just getting used to him without the glasses. Now he's got the haircut. So
That's right. I hope he's not looking for a new woman.
Uh-oh. No, they just had their 10th anniversary yesterday.
Well, that's more reason than ever. I'm joking.
Well, if I was up, it could be her, you know.
What?
It could be her looking for some other guy because she's pretty cute.
Well, Granny, he's losing some weight and getting his eyes fixed and shaving that head. You know, something's up, you know. Granny's going to be doing some investigations now. I'm just joking, Granny. He's a fine husband.
He's good. He's good, Daddy.
That's right, he is.
And he took her out to dinner, so that's
wow.
Good.
We shouldn't have revealed that on the air, his soft side. He's going to get upset.
Well, to be fair, he took her to the ranch.
Oh, that's true, yeah. Well, Granny, we got to cut out here. We got shows to recap here, so.
Okay, and I want everybody on the board to shut up.
Wow! All righty.
Right on, Granny.
They have been pretty mean to me, so
Power to you.
So I'm glad you let them know that.
Okay, we'll talk to you later, and I hope you feel better.
Okay, thanks, Granny.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
See, I don't need the rest of you when I have my number one fan.
That must be the first new drop of the second drop era.
Oh, that was awesome.
You missed it. You missed it when you know it.
I did miss it. How can you hate the great Collie, you idiots?
Somebody looked at Colleen and said, "He reminds me of Phil Collins."
Brian, the Iron Sheik was in attendance last night at a WrestleMania viewing party held at a concert venue in Philly. After being a mark and getting a photo taken with Sheik, putting me in a headlock, and getting him to say that Eric Sims is a half and half. Terrible.
I don't know who Eric Sims is, but that's funny.
It's his manager. I asked Sheik to say some words about you, Brian Alvarez. I told him how you're a jerk on the board. These two MP3s are the end result. Please note that Sheiky Fuck Brian's Ass is a combo of two different files because my phone won't take more than 15 seconds of audio at a time, so it may sound a little awkward. Let's see if I have these. I have not listened to them, and I am intrigued.
Well, we know if there's one thing that runs smoothly in this life is when people send you audio files. We've never had a problem.
No. Let's see, what's it called? Sheiky Fuck. Let's do this one first. Sheiky, be nice to Greg.
Oh, Brian, I'm the man. Vol.33 Chapter. Not that Hollywood blonde jabroni Hoboken. I'm a red. You better be nice to your friend, Greg.
Huh.
You better be nice to your friend Greg, he said. All right.
He also said he is not a Hollywood...
What is your name? My name is Greg. Greg? Greg. Greg. Brian, you better be nice to this. Greg. Otherwise, Brian, I'm going to come suplex you. I'll put you in the camera cut. I'll break your back. I'll fuck it up. I'll make you humble. Have a good night. Good night.
Have a good night!
Good night. Or I'll sodomize you.
One more time. This is the highlight of my life.
What is your name? My name is Greg. Greg? Greg. Greg. Brian?
Greg.
You better be nice to this. Greg. Otherwise, Brian, I'm going to come suplex you. I'll put you in the camera cut. I'll break your back. I'll fuck it up. I'll make you humble. Have a good night. Good night.
Oh, God. Cheeky sounds like he may have been drinking a little.
That's impossible. He's straight edge, isn't he?
I just love the beginning of this.
Greg? Greg.
What is your name? My name is Greg. Greg? Greg. Greg.
That's funny. Well, I'm here. Let me give a shout-out to you, Chico. Every so often when I'm feeling bored, I come on the board and I troll you. It's a lot of fun. Please take nothing I say seriously. On a side note, you're a horrible journalist with no sources who should have interviewed Susan Moss when I had her down for an interview. Thanks, Greg! Now that the one with the mouth is one of the top 40 under 40 in America, I may be willing to have her on the show, actually. So, Greg, you may have to try and hook that one up again there, baby. Especially after you fucking deliver with the Iron Sheik right there.
We owe Greg big.
Wow. You sure do. And what a shout-out to start with today. I am the chronic hand jobber. And I'm cashing in on my shout-out.
There's so much pride in your voice as you announce that.
I want to thank you, Chico and Vinny, for your fine work. You have made my dreadful commute to school, to work, falling asleep, much more pleasant, I swear. I don't know how I would have survived my last year of university without you two.
Did he just thank us for helping him go to sleep?
Lots of people actually fall asleep to our show.
Oh, great. Well, whatever.
Yeah. In fact, we met a child at the Smoky Bones that falls asleep listening to the show, and when he mentioned that, I was like, boy, I feel bad for all this swearing. And then his father just said, he's heard it all. What's this? That's annoying. One of those damn update checkers. Anyway. Shout-outs to the following: Curry Man, Santino Morella, my girlfriend Lydia, the love of my life, my best friend Jake, and of course the board members. They are truly, truly exceptional human beings. Well,
can't argue with that, actually.
That's undoubtedly true.
They are the exceptions.
Can you please have Mark on more often? His insight into professional wrestling is like no other.
I concur with this request. We should have Mark on. What's he doing now? Let's call him.
I can probably...
Like 4 a.m. there?
Probably arrange that. Finally, hearty fuck yous to the University of Toronto for raping my anus for the last 5 years. Triple H, the retards of TNA, and Anchor. Oh, fuck you. I thought it was a shout-out. I was like, wait, Anchor is a fan? Anyway. Adios! P.S. When was the last time you two bumped uglies with a woman or man? You guys are due for another intervention show. Huzzah!
Oh, what comedy.
We'll see about that one.
Zing.
This is Ford, new subscriber. I love the show, love Steffi's boobs, Triple H's balls of steel, and Karen Angle's vajayjay. Delightful. 2 words, Collie Dingleberry.
Wow.
To think I plugged these at the beginning of the show.
Strong contender for the worst shout-out ever.
Can we have something about how great we are here? B&V! I've been a member since December of 06, thanks to CM Hump, who signed me up for a Christmas gift.
It was vile in your voice when you read that one.
I think a lot of people, their hearts skipped a beat when they heard that name, and not in a good way. I've been hooked since. I'm going to cash in the old shout-out. Shout-outs to the following: WrestleMania, Ric Flair, Willie McGee, The Dune Poon, The Real Deal, The Sure Thing, Michael Byrne, Chinese Food, CM Hump, Super Soakers, France, Benedict 666, Dad. Oh, I cannot. Walmart's $5 movie bin, Teabagging Retarded Girls. I cannot read.
Wow.
Ted Bundy, David Berkowitz, Byron De La Beckwith, here we go again, Jeffrey Dahmer, Chris Benoit, James Earl Ray, and Preschool.
That was a failure of a shout-out.
F-offs to Orlando, Buddy Dyer, Buddy Wayne, Steven Anderson, Kevin Moo, oh goodness, Shrek, Obama, I'm editing some of this myself, Nancy and Bill Laurie, Vinny,
What?
Cliffy, Dr. Keith, Carlos, Carl Stern, Gay Neck Tattoo, Fat Jack the Ripper, Loose Vagina, Granny, Dr. the Reverend Martin Luther King Jr., Children with Mental Handicaps, and Kindergarten. Cheers, Fuzz Hardman! What a hate-filled shout-out that was.
You know, we had a discussion the other night about people on the board, and you made an excellent point where you just said, just stop worrying about it.
Just,
if it was a perfect world, I'd have them all locked up and perhaps killed, but I can't. So I just live with it.
That's some hate right there.
It's amazing because that shout-out sounded so awesome. When it was just a shout-out to WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I'm sure WrestleMania appreciates the attention.
Well, you know, it may need it. Just subscribed after hearing the great things about the Flair issue, and I'm loving the site.
Woo!
I'd like to shout out to all my homies, including Andrew. I owe you one, you little prick. Jamie for always being there. Tommy, without you, the Pharaohs would have never flown the coop.
Don't look at me.
Ricky-san for who you are, and last and least, Bruce, for being the biggest and most annoying leech I've ever known. If I never see you again, it'd be too soon.
The theme of shoutouts this week is anger.
Can you plug my band, Second Thought, on the show? MySpace link is below. Unfortunately, he left a tiny URL MySpace link as opposed to, say, MySpace/Second Thought. So, get a pen and paper, everybody.
Well, can you click the link and... If you click on that one, it'll go to his MySpace. Isn't that how it works?
I was too lazy.
Well, plus, this way we get to hear his music.
Well, this is for Brad.
I'm always excited to hear the bands our listeners are in.
I said that with such a vociferous anger in my voice. Oh, it's not. It's YouTube. Jackass. Just for that, I'm playing the whole fucking song, motherfucker. We got Rickroll'd. We did. I knew I shouldn't have clicked that goddamn link away. I'm gonna make y'all listen to this.
We're no strangers to love.
That's what you get for Rickroll'd me.
You know the rules, and so do I. I've still commitments from the beginning of.
That song.
You wouldn't get this from any other.
Here you go.
I just want to tell you how I'm feeling. Gotta make you understand. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you down. Never gonna run around and desert you. Never gonna make you cry. Never gonna say goodbye. Never gonna tell a lie and hurt you. We've known each other for so long.
Yeah.
Your heart's been aching, but you're too shy to say it. Inside we both know what's been going on. We know we're gonna do good way. And if you ask me how I'm feeling, don't tell me you're too blind to see. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you down. Never gonna run around and desert you.
What's up, man? Just had a question for AJ. I was just wondering how you feel about your large following in the gay community. The gay community? Yeah, because I think it's mainly attributed to your looks.
One more thing. All business aside, you had that date with Kelly the other night.
Oh, yeah. What?
What? Come on, balls, don't play stupid. There's nobody else around here. Tell me. How'd it go? How did it end? What'd you guys do? Balls?
Yeah.
That is a story.
Yeah, that's what she said too.
All the steroid crap is for homos. All the steroid crap is for homos.
Somebody's telling me that about my wife. I'm sorry, sir, but I'm going to break your leg.
I actually have something I want to say right here.
You put whoop to you in your head. You put whoop to you in your head.
Where's it calling Joe a fat ass?
Come on, Joe, you fat bastard. Come on, Joe, you fat bastard. Tonight, I kill you.
I can't wait for that match. Rickroll'd, everybody!
I have to say,
Rickroll'd!
I have to give...
If Vicky roll, your winning streak comes to an end.
Just like that Rickroll.
Tip my hat for that shout out. No one's pulled that trick on us before.
No.
It was funny once.
Yeah, you'll never get it again, motherfuckers. Now no one's ever going to get their link clicked again because of that geek. Oh, well, what can you do? What a jackass. It's from Brad.
Thanks, Brad.
It's from Darla. As in darling. Guys, recently signed up for the website, and I'm about to begin wrestling training. I need a gimmick, and thought you guys could help a gal out. If it helps, I will give you some information about myself. Don't think I'm being too hard on myself. I'm comfortable in my own skin and know I'm beautiful. I'm a 32-year-old female from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. I am 5'2", 218 pounds, 46... I'm laughing because of the look on Vince's face.
How dare you?
I did not find this funny. But Vinny's face cracked. You were trying not to laugh, weren't you?
I honestly, I'm more disturbed by the fact that she's 32 and trying to get into wrestling.
5'2", 218, 46A cup. Vinny.
She does not sound like my cup of tea.
Brown curly hair, which I just got cut to a mullet.
Wait, I can go back now.
Because I heard I need a haircut that stands out in wrestling. I figured this was the way to go. I wear a size 11 shoe, have a slight underbite, but I'm told it's pretty cute. Kind of a big nose. My only flaws, though, seem to be some acne. And as embarrassed as I am to admit it, I bleach my upper lip. My hobbies include archery, lawn darts, Saskatoon intramural lawn dart champ, 3 years running, Vinny, and part-time mechanic work. Hope you guys can come up with something. By the way, Vincent, I find your voice sexy. I want to know where I can get some pics without your shirt on. Lovingly yours, Vinny, Darla Earl.
Well, thank you, Darla. I'm glad you bleached your upper lip because, Lord knows, if you had a hairy lip, guys may not find you attractive. I'm thinking this is a rib.
No. It's from Mike Coughlin. Brian, after years of waiting, I've decided to cash in on my shout-out. I hereby give the following men a 5-star shout-out. Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X, Michael Jordan, George Washington Carver, Booker T. Washington, Booker T., Colin Powell, Will Smith, Muhammad Ali, Lando Calrissian, which if you only knew how he spelled that. Quentin Jackson, Rosa Parks, Jackie Robinson, Jesse Jackson, Thurgood Marshall, Tupac, Al Sharpton, the cool black dude in Gladiator, Zulu, Richard Pryor, Blackula, Robert Downey Jr., the movie Undercover Brother, Denzel Washington, Barry Bonds, Charlie Crazy Horse Bennett, B.E.T., Floyd Mayweather Jr., Amos and Andy, Black Holes, and half of Barack Obama. That's from Mike Coughlin.
I believe the cool black guy from Gladiator was Cuba Gooding Jr.
No, it's impossible.
Not sure.
Wasn't. Crumbly, a resident TNA fan on the board, has sent me this shout-out. I never cash in my shout-out, so here we are. They say you crossed the line, like it's a bad thing, like you've gone too far. Guess what? I don't think it goes far enough. Pain, pleasure, blood, carnage, suffering. That's the simple reality of my work. Every time they draw a new battle line, we cross it without reservation or regret. Hey, they, whoever you are, maybe it's time to drop something else, like your retirement plan.
The fuck was that?
Well, TNA's new slogan is cross the line. Apparently this fit into that somehow.
I see.
Yeah. Fail!
That's beat poetry or something.
Epic fail of a shout-out.
Epic fail.
To the back!
Satchel ass!
I want everybody on the board to shut up.
Mike Hadley.
Message received at 12:15 p.m.
Hello?
By the drive.